Hi everyone, and welcome to Rollbound 2. I am your DM, Chas, and I'm going to go down the list and have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Groove.
Good tidings. I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Jonathan Oneros Phage.
Alrighty, Allie.
Hello, I'm Allie, and I am bound to the role of Prince Xander.
Alright, Minnow.
Hello, I am Minnow, and I am bound to the role of Vivian Deshays.
Alright, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I'm bound to the role of Jay Elwood. Forgot his last name for a second.
Alright, Dakota.
Hello everyone, my name is Dakota, and I am bound to the role of Lysel.
And last but never least, Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I am bound to the role of Emiko.
Hi everyone, this is your DM speaking, and I just had a tiny little announcement to make. Not the podcast itself, but I, Chas, have been invited to do a giveaway for the mobile game Kinder World. Kinder World is a game where, by being kind to a little plant in a little space, you are kinder to yourself. Or maybe it's the other way around, I'm not quite sure. You have a little space that you can decorate and customize, and you can take care of a plant, and it has some ways of dealing with anxiety and just overall helps you be kinder to yourself by interacting with this very little wholesome world. And currently they are doing a giveaway for a little cherry blossom themed cafe pack. It's really good stuff, it's very pretty, the artwork in the game is phenomenal. I am going to, in the YouTube version of this post, link a tweet that I made for the pack. This will happen after the episode is posted, so give me a little bit of time after this airs. And by participating in my giveaway, you can potentially earn this little pack in-game. This is really cool and a really exciting thing that they've invited me to do, and I hope to get to do more things like this in the future. So thank you for supporting me, and as always, enjoy the show.
Y'all at home see
Wow, anti-improv man making a comeback.
What?
that we have to put up with. I say in good faith that I want to spread nuclear annihilation to a part of the world that Chast has built so painstakingly and beautifully, and I get shut down.
I don't want you to nuke it.
You know what? Based.
No, I don't want you to
Wait.
nuke it.
Wait, which part are we
We're the
nuking?
players.
I will allow one place in Calmer to be nuked. Which one are we talking about?
High Friar.
We're Benji's location.
Oh, no, High Fire's not allowed. Sorry. Can't do High Fire.
What's the location, Minnow?
Try again. No, try another one. I'll see. Try another one. Go on.
Byron.
No,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
won't.
You can nuke Byron. Oh, never mind. All right, we gotta pick another one. All right, another try.
Farwood.
Farwood we can let go of. I'm tired of dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, the dinosaurs, they have to go sometime, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's past time.
No. No.
All right.
I'm
So
gonna
this
make
time
I'm
we're
gonna make it
gonna
my character's personal mission to just eliminate dinosaurs
No.
It's so funny.
and
Run.
we got to restabilize the ecology of Farwood. This shit is getting out of hand.
Maybe we just make our own dinosaurs watch, though?
With blackjacks and hookers.
No.
Like, I want them to know it's coming and be powerless to stop it.
Okay, so campaign 3 is going to be
No.
our Touch the Crystal run.
No.
Campaign 4 is going to be our Kill the Dinosaurs run.
No.
Kill the dinosaurs? What is this, a Metroid speedrun?
No. Oh my god.
Yes.
Shut the
Hell
the
yeah.
fuck-
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Joey just needed someone to tell him he was right. He didn't care what it was about.
and then the next campaign after that, we go full Asura's Wrath on Ryland's balls.
No.
Mr. Owl, how many nut punches does it take to kill a Reaper? Let's find out. 1, a 2, a 3.
Weirdly enough, though,
And
the
then
campaign
I bite
after
his
that,
dick off.
we destroy Ron and Del.
Oh my god.
Campaign after that, we bring it back once
We
again.
bring it back.
Destruction of Rorindel.
No.
Redemption
No.
of Rorindel.
No, okay. Where we last left off, though, you had literally just killed the guy. Like, literally, we ended it right there. Like, you guys killed him, and then the session ended. So you guys are still standing around his dead body.
Johnny will turn to the party. Good a place as any to rest for the night.
No.
Why not? We have a safe locked tent. Maybe one of his compatriots will come and we can cast.
Don't we need to go to that place and find the guy anyway?
Dungeon Master.
What?
I'm gonna take the corpse and put it in my vessel.
I was just about to say, Xander.
Okay.
We grow further and further aligned.
Either way, they talked about moving tomorrow, so we need to find this guy tonight. And the person mentioned where he was, and I definitely remember where it was from last week. But for those who don't, for those who don't, I just want to test everybody.
They were
Outside the Crowley estate.
Right, outside the Crowley estate. That's what I was going to say. Thank you.
They were going to be meeting before they moved the next day in front of the Crowley estate.
Oh, so we got time.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here, Master Chief.
I'm gonna be in my vessel taking a short rest. Johnny's gonna carry me.
Yeah, Johnny holds you up to his face, says, Xander, could you perhaps pull this tent into your vessel as well? It seems a fine resource, should we need cover from the elements.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop out of the vessel. I'm gonna grab the tent and I'm gonna shove it in.
Okay, yeah, we've taken everything from this man. How much gold did we get again?
It
I
was
wrote it
in
down
order, I
last
think.
time. It was quite a bit.
It was 2,000.
Okay, well, we have all the items stored away. Do we want to hang out outside of the Crowley estate?
Probably not too close. I mean, I'm sure it probably doesn't matter, but in my RP brain, I'm thinking we don't want to spook anyone out.
One very important thing, Chess. While I am in the vessel, I'm going to drain all of the blood that this individual has left into a beaker.
Okie dokie.
Yeah. How far away is the Crowley estate from where we are?
If you walk, probably about like a 2.5, 3 hour walk. It's in the middle city.
What time is it? How much more time do we have in the day? Should we wait until nightfall?
It's like 9 p.m. at this point. So 5 hours
I don't think
until
we should
midnight.
take a long rest. Because then we can stake out the whole next day. Like, Johnny can just go there and watch if you want.
I'm sorry, you said we should or should not take a long rest?
Should.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else I need to do today.
Yeah,
We
okay.
gotta
How about
wait till
we
tomorrow anyway.
stay in the tent?
Well,
Johnny
no,
was right.
We
Who's
should
surprised?
leave. We have a
Why
place
should
to
we
stay.
leave? Why should we leave? We have a perfectly good tent. What if somebody comes and is like, hey, I'm evil and I want to sell you something? And we can kill him.
I mean, you guys are literally next door to the black market. Like, there's, they're not gonna really care that you got rid of this guy, because it's kind of just part of the trade. And also, they literally, like, put him in his own little corner.
Thank you, Chas.
Oh,
Johnny says.
I'm not saying that you should rest near the black market. I'm saying, like...
Well, now that Chassa said we should rest near the black market, I'm on board.
Okay, great.
Well.
Yeah. We'll take our long rest.
Vivian says, "Thank you, Chas, for the clarification."
No!
Do we want to look for that other CD guy and kill him?
Isn't that who we're waiting on?
No.
The informant.
Yeah, the person that told you about the location of the black market in the first place.
Oh, why?
And we said, like, do we want to kill him now or do we want to kill him later? Because Xander said he wants to kill him, and I'm on board with it.
Well, why do we want to kill him at all? He's just a guy.
Xander?
Well, the reasoning for that is quite simple. We asked him about the particular sort of items that this individual was selling, and he gave us a location, which makes him part of it.
That's an impossibly stupid thing to say. Do you want to kill every single person in this black market? Because that's not something I'm going to support.
Johnny, I was thinking about it.
It's just a guy.
In fairness, I said I wanted to kill him, not that we should.
Okay. Wanting to kill him, I think, is entirely natural. He seemed a little skeevy. But I think that we should use our better judgment and save it for now.
Are you sure that wanting to kill somebody is a natural thing to think? I don't think I've ever thought that about somebody that wasn't, like, the most evil son of a bitch I've ever met or was threatening my life actively.
Counterpoint, did you see
Johnny looks
his
struck by this.
mustache?
I'm
It
sorry?
was very bad. Did you see his mustache? I think it is very natural.
No.
Listen, Sir Elwood,
As in, no, I don't.
I'm very happy for you that you have a moral compass that can apparently point north. Not all of us are so lucky.
I mean,
Well-
don't get me wrong. There is somebody that I do want to murder very brutally for absolutely no reason other than revenge, but that's like the only person that I've ever thought that about before, so.
So
But you said.
So you lie.
So you include yourself in that group?
No, I don't. I don't
John
think.
turns to Vivian.
This sounds like a trick question of sorts.
Is it normal for people's systems of moral philosophy to be so inconsistent?
Yes.
The word you're looking for is malleable. And the answer is yes, and it is a good point. Because earlier we did kill this man, and this man needed to die because there was no other alternative. We couldn't turn him in, we couldn't let him go, we had other things we needed to do. However, we are the silver lining. We are what comes and makes things better. Therefore, our first priority should not be to kill everything that we think has a weird mustache, to use my own metaphor. So, I'm with you all, and I hope that at the end of this, we can still be the heroes that we want to be. But for now, if we're ever caught between a position of malleability, let's choose the side of softness when we can. And I think that we will all feel a lot better about this when we're done.
I can certainly respect the wisdom in that, though I'm not going to sit here and pretend to you that I'm going to be able to be capable of any sort of meaningful mercy when it comes to these bastards.
As long as you can try, that's really all I can ask. I'm not gonna make you forgive these people. It's not really my place.
I
I just
appreciate
want to
that.
make sure that you're still Prince Xander when you come out of it.
Of course, my judgment to these individuals is compromised, so I will simply defer to yours.
Understood?
In the case of the men with odd mustaches,
Yes.
I can agree. But for those with evil dreams, there is simply no other viable solution.
There is always a third option. That's okay.
Nay,
We'll get there.
we will not get anywhere. Vivian,
I suppose we'll see. Either way, are we sleeping here tonight? The voice of God said that we could get away with it.
Chas said that we could. So we shall.
All praise.
I'm gonna fight y'all.
During the night, as everybody sleeps, Gianni is gonna slink about as he does and see if he can hear anything interesting. See if he can hear anything about information brokers or Lozano in particular.
Yeah, make me an investigation check. Also, you do manage to find a way from the main shopping area out of the black market area. What was a thing before?
18.
Yeah, so Johnny, as you're roaming about the city while everyone is taking their long rest, you actually, for one, while you're leaving, you hear some people having a drink about the Skinari guy dying. That didn't take long for them to find out that happened. There's like 3
Whoa.
people huddled around.
Wait. The merchant?
Yeah. It's
Doesn't
fine.
know.
Don't worry about it. You just see them each clink a little, cups of ale. Saying shit like, he deserved it. Yeah, probably. For clarification, they said something about how, like, they saw a group of 6 well-decorated individuals go in there, and then the guy never came out to do his usual... They just said that they know that after 6 decorated people went into that side, and then he never came out and behaved his normal way before bed, that they knew he was dead. So, mostly it's just they assume.
Prison shanking rules, got it.
Yeah, you know, like, that guy didn't make his usual rounds, he didn't come out and buy alcohol before going to bed. He's probably dead after 6 decorated motherfuckers went in there. So, yeah, he's probably dead. They don't seem upset about it in any way, though.
I love the phrase "decorated" in this context. Like we're going in there fucking bedazzled.
No, that's just I don't want to say it is a not necessarily negative, not necessarily positive way to describe adventurers. Is saying a decorated group, implying that adventurers stand out.
That's fair.
Bedazzled Santa literally has a ruby sticking out of his skull.
It's not a fucking ruby.
It's like agate or
Quartz.
something.
No, it's quartz.
What was agate? Agate?
No.
Agate?
Agate.
Agate?
Yes.
No, it's his hair is auburn quartz.
An
What did you just call me?
unfortunately named Mineral.
Phlegm. It's hot in here. But as you roam about the city with an 18, you don't get any more information about any, like, information brokers. You don't hear anything about, like, the black market guy and his meeting the next day. True. You also, you don't hear anything more about that. It seems like to find the place, you guys were in the right place at the right time, because there is no other evidence of it when you're looking around. However, you do find that there is like a news board that describes that there have been several very it's described as particularly aggressive murders within the last few days. The news headline details like an exponential increase in people disappearing and getting murdered found murdered very brutally within the last few days. By the looks of it, the articles and bulletins have just simply dubbed this person as the artist.
Naturally.
Yeah. Basically, the artist strikes again. Who are they? What is their motive? You know, typical news. As there's even like a late night crier going around yelling about it even at night. Mainly in a more business filled area where businesses are still open and such. But other than that, based on the things you're looking for, nothing else really catches your eye while you're wandering about at night.
Yeah, Johnny will return. How long did this take to do?
Probably about 4 out of the 8 hours of your long rest.
Understood. Johnny will keep watch. And in the morning, does anything happen during the night?
Yes, but I have to roll for exactly what? Give me a second. Okay, I have to consider all of who's here. Yeah. Hey, Jay.
What's up?
When you're at rest, at nighttime, what do you normally think about? Or what normally do you dream about? What fills your mind?
Shit, I guess it depends on the day. Usually Jay often thinks about usually the road ahead. He tries to envision what continuing the journey is going to look like. He's thinking of different battle strategies. He's going over different plans that he made throughout the day in his head. And he's going over the great treasures that his group will find and the great evils that his troop will banish. And then probably during the moments where he imagines himself speaking to a group of very eager listeners as he recounts over the people that he's saved and the glory that he has earned, he just sees the smallest visage of his family, and his mom gives him a light smile and nods.
Yeah, and, so you dream and visualize your aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the spirit of aspirations, when you fall into a deep slumber tonight, that's not what goes through your head. Instead, you find yourself in what looks to be a temple. It's very run down. There are cracks through the walls. There are vines clinging to marble pillars that are hanging down. It looks like an old temple in which nature has taken over. And there's like a little bit of sunlight falling through the cracks in the ceiling. It looks similar to the fallen temple that was one of the first dungeons that you and your party went into. It's obviously not the same one, but it has that same decrepit, overgrown vibe. And at the very end of this temple, you see someone wearing a purple hooded robe. At the other end, they're standing underneath a statue. And it is just you two in here. Their back is to you. I don't know if I said that already. They don't respond in any way.
Jay will take the helmet off and he'll try to speak up a bit more with his mouth. Hello?
You see, like, the hood twitch, like the person suddenly snapped their gaze to the side, but they don't fully turn to meet you. And you hear a soft voice, but it echoes a little bit more than this chamber would allow. And they say, J. Elwood, is it? That's your name, right?
And who are you?
I'm nobody, but also somebody, perhaps.
Well, nobody who's also somebody. What are you doing here?
The individual sits more upright. They were kneeling down, you can see more clearly. They turn slightly. You can't make out anything but like their nose and maybe their lips and like part of their chin, as the hood mostly obscures it. And the individual looks like they're made out of porcelain with like cracks in it. And they say, answer something for me, Jay. Are you a holy man?
That depends.
Does it?
Which of the gods do you consider holy?
Anything that anyone considers holy is holy. It's just a matter on if you agree with their philosophies. Is there a god that you pledge your idea of holy to, Sir Elwood?
There was a time where I had decided on a god or two based on the... what's the word? The detachment that I was a part of, you could say.
The individual stands and turns to you, but again, the hood completely covers their features except for their nose and their lips and their chin. And the person folds their fingers and has their hands politely folded in front of them when they stand. And they say, and what stopped this devotion?
I wouldn't say that I stopped being devoted, but I would say that I stopped going to church.
The individual lifts one of their hands and says, would you follow me? I have something to show you. And very slowly they walk around and behind the statue. And originally it didn't look like you could even go, like there were any passageways, but, you know, maybe leaning a little to the side, you can see that there is a whole other, like, corridor to this temple. And the person doesn't necessarily wait for you. They just get up and walk in that direction.
The person's features, what did you say that they were again? You said that they looked like a porcelain doll of some kind?
Yeah, they don't necessarily look doll-like. They do have, I guess, realistic features. They're not exaggerated, but they do look like they are made out of porcelain. And it is lightly cracked.
And the features, like their nose, their eyes, did all of it look painted on?
No, they definitely do have, like, a nose, you know, it is, you know, sculpted. They definitely don't, it doesn't look like it's painted on. It definitely is there, and there are grooves in the skin that add depth and whatnot, but they do look like a living statue of sorts.
Okay, something I'm very familiar with. I will, while I'm thinking about these different things and trying to sort of make sense what's going on in the mindscape, at this point I don't know that Jay would realize that he's dreaming. He is going to follow.
Yeah, and this person leads you again into this back room. It's just like a continuous of the temple, but there's a very large fountain at like the back of this room again. Most of it is overgrown by leaves and vines and branches and whatnot. And it still has a steady flow of water. And the individual, since it took you a while to maybe reason with yourself to follow them, you see them just standing once again with their hands folded in front of them, looking down, gazing into the water. And they look up and they wave a beckoning hand and say, "Look into this fountain for me, J. Elwood."
Okay. Yeah, he'll look in the fountain.
Yeah, and at first you just see your reflection along with the individual standing next to you. And maybe a few moments pass and the individual says, "Why don't you lean down, look a little closer? It doesn't seem that you're seeing what you need to."
He'll look. I guess he'll kind of like. Is she sitting down?
No, the individual is standing. Again, standing, hands politely folded in front of them.
Then I guess he would kind of kneel down next to them and like put his face like not necessarily nose touching the water, but going right up to the water,
Yeah.
seeing if there's maybe something underneath the surface that they're trying to point him towards.
And when you do, these watery hands break from the water's surface and they grab at your face. You feel their thumbs go into your eyes and you feel not pain, a strange sense of comfort, but very cold come over you. And you see several visions. You see the visage of a village that you do not recognize on fire. You see a long tunnel that looks to be in some sort of underground chamber with water dripping from the ceiling. And at the end of it, you see a statue of a woman you don't recognize, mainly because her face is carved out of it. And next to this statue is a plaque donning a very, very pretty but old set of armor. You then see a piercing set of red eyes looking back at you, and then you see this like sort of red energy that kind of looks like blood mixed with lightning pierce at you, and then you see more of this energy go towards your friends who are now a part of this vision as well, and you see another flash of you with your sword plunged into the chest of a person who you cannot see, and you are donning this armor from earlier. And around you are 4 of these like wisps, but one of them looks like fire, one of them looks like suspended water, one of them looks like a sort of golden crystal, and the last one looks like kind of like a shards of ice contained in like a vapor, like air. And you see this person impaled on your sword and you lifting up your leg to kick them off of it. And then after you do this, you see like 2 very large hands very gently placed on your shoulders as if congratulating you. And then the person leans down and says, "Good work, my champion," and then the entire visage ends and the water releases you.
Am I still in the dream?
Yes.
What did that armor look like real quick?
The armor was sleek and silver. But it was a little dark. It was like a darker color. So definitely made out of a more refined silver that had some sort of other alloy added to it, likely. And there were symbols engraved into the chest and along the arms, and they were runes. You've actually seen runes that look similar to it recently.
Runes. Can I tell what language they would have been?
Make me a history check.
I'm here to learn her story. 1.
No, you don't know what language they are, but at the very least, you do remember where you saw something similar. The mammoths that you saw when you were traveling to Snow's Reach. They had runes of a similar style on their hide.
Okay.
The individual puts their hand on your shoulder, and you know it's the same person, but now their voice sounds completely different and also familiar. You hear, "Are you all right, Jay?"
What sort of tricks are you employing?
There are no tricks. And the individual reaches up and pulls the hood down, and then once again puts their hand on your shoulder as if trying to bring your attention to them. Do you look up?
Yeah. He looks up.
The visage that you see staring back at you looks like your mother if she were made out of porcelain.
If there are no tricks, then why am I staring at a dead woman?
You're right. I am dead. And things are different. But I don't want to see my son suffer. And I don't want to see him fail. I was given one chance to bring to you something, a message that would bring you what you seek. Revenge. And what sort of mother would pass up a chance to see her son one final time?
He sort of squints and kind of looks up at her. Then he would stand, coming off of his knees, now looking down at her. So what is it that you've brought to me?
I cannot move on until the woman who wore my face and slayed me is dead. And in the coming years, she has only gotten more and more dangerous, more vicious, better at hiding. So, in my ceaseless drift, no afterlife in sight, I prayed. I prayed to the trees and to the wisps, to the whispers of the undead. I prayed to whoever would listen. And finally, the winds answered me. That armor that you saw is a remnant of sorts. It is crafted by Physis. It is the reward for a trial. There are only few like it.
for Joey's recollection, when it comes to Physis, who do I know worships them?
Make me a religion check.
That I can do. 11.
Yeah. Since this god is so well known, the DC for that was a 10, because Physis is one of the circle. She is one of the 6. She is the goddess of nature. There are all sorts of people that worship her. Generally speaking, druids, if they are more of a religious focus. There are people that just believe in the protection of elemental magic, or people that pertain to the natural order. Sometimes monster hunters worship Physis. Typically, though, if there are adventurers that worship Physis, it's usually on the more caster side of things, as because Physis is the goddess of nature, she is also the goddess of the elements. And thus there are great boons that they could find that amplify their magic, whereas Guinevere is the goddess of life and creation, so she's like a step up above Physis in a way. But Physis is more geared towards the, direct elements themselves. She is the birth mother of elementals, things like that.
Okay. And you think this armor is the key?
I'm saying that this knowledge was the answer to my prayers. So, in a way, yes, I do. I've seen other souls that she has released. I've seen them pass by me, and they get to move on, and I don't. I don't know what binds me to this stasis of between life and death, but I know that it ends when she does. She looks around as if like she hears something that you don't seem to, and she says, "I have to go now, Jay. But please, remember everything that I've showed you. I've told you what I could with the knowledge that I have. And also, I am so proud of you and everything you've done." And she lifts the hood back up and, very gently, uses both of her hands to hold one of yours. And before you can utter another word or even think another thought, your eyes open to a new day.
And Johnny is looking down at you. Good morning, handsome.
Was that dream good enough for you?
I did not cry. It would be a violation of your boundaries. But I detected... You can never talk to Vivian too much.
True.
A peculiar scent. Tell me, what did you dream of?
If I'm being honest, I didn't know it was a dream until I woke up.
Many such cases, as we've seen. It must have been quite striking if you were unaware. Johnny blinks at you expectantly.
Well, if you must know, a spirit that said that it was my mother came to me in a dream made of porcelain and told me of, or rather showed me, a set of armor that she believed would be the key to defeating this Winfrey.
Fascinating. What did this spirit say of this evil, consuming armor?
That it was her answers to a prayer from, or rather to, the goddess Physis.
Isis. I'm unfamiliar. Could you invite me?
Physis. Mother Nature, commander of the elements, and secrets. Renowned by a variety of people around the world. Quite the spectacle of sorts, if that's your kind of thing. But then again, what god isn't a beacon of hope and inspiration to those whom follow them? Even the evil ones.
Evil gods. Is there truly such a thing in this world?
Whether or not they intend it to, there are certainly evil people that worship them. Darkness and shadows are not always evil, but those who tend to keep that sort of company. Nature versus nurture, something that I don't know that you're familiar with yet, but you'll come to understand it soon.
If every follower of an evil god were consumed, then would that god persist? Must it too be cleansed?
It is a question that I'm sure that many a philosopher has spoken of. However, that is not where my mind dwells.
Indeed. This armor, were you given any information as to its whereabouts?
No, however, I do know that such armors are given as rewards for completing specific trials. I know not where these trials lie, but I imagine they'll show themselves to us soon enough.
Johnny's going to take a closer look at Jay. How is he looking emotionally?
You get the sense that Jay is sort of a different person at the moment. He takes on many personas, as you already know. Whether it's the kind of persona that he needs for being a stalwart hero and defender of the people that those around him look to, or a sneaky, inquisitive and curious sort that tries to get information wherever she goes. At the moment, he takes on the face of someone who is very perplexed. Right now, he is very much a thinker who is in the midst of trying to make sense of something. He doesn't seem to have very much emotion at all, in fact. Considering how you've heard his talks of redemption and retribution and vengeance towards the one that killed his family and took the face of his mother, he doesn't appear to be any more grieving or distressed or even confused, or not necessarily confused, even like lost in the sense that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's more or less trying to figure out, make sense of what he has seen. He doesn't, you get the sense that he doesn't believe that the visage was his mother, and that if it was, the fact that she came to him in a dream and is given him this information, he wants to know why that is possible and who has allowed that to happen. Because something else that he has shown you is that he wants the dead to stay dead. When you remember, you harken back to the times where you guys, like us, the Silver Lining, have gone to crypts and have seen desecrated ground, and how he was a big advocate for leaving the dead bodies alone and letting sleeping dogs lie, even if that wasn't what the rest of the party was necessarily looking to do. So those are the sorts of things, like, with what you know about him and the way that you are able to sort of probe into his thoughts, that's sort of how his mind is going.
Tell me, Jay. You seem unfocused. Did your heart flutter as you saw the visage of your mother once again?
There was a couple of things that I felt. The main one, I suppose, was confusion. And I suppose there was a bit of anger as well at the idea that she wasn't able to pass on.
Jay, if I may, as you're repeating this thought out loud of, like, you're trying to figure out how this happened, you get this gut feeling, you know, like, you hear, because you saw it in several visions now at this point, you get you, like, remember Winfrey's voice in your head, almost as if on cue, of the, like, almost like your instincts are answering the question, who could let this happen? It's like literal gut feeling, like you feel your gut twist as you talk about it.
And she did mention that eliminating this Winfrey would be the key to allowing her to move on. But I don't think that was how she ended up in my dreams, because if it was, then that means that this is a trick, and that Winfrey is trying to use this attachment to take us off of the trail. But unfortunately, without knowing the source of the magic, I have no way of telling who is at fault for the visitation, regardless of who is keeping her soul at bay.
But it describes your thoughts, Jay, not your feelings. Be more intuitive. How did that dream make you feel? What desires has it cultivated? What is the nature of your hunger?
If anything, it is doubled down on what I already knew was my plan. I have never felt more motivated to ensure that she can rest easy.
Johnny nods. It seems then that you have eaten a dream of your own. I am intrigued, though. He refers to the rest of the party. How I have seen now many peculiar dreams, as if something or some things are attempting to commune with us. Would you all mind if, should I detect such a thing, I were to enter your dreams?
Fine
Would
with
that
me.
be a violation of your boundaries? Thank you, Xander.
I mean, the way I see it, we're all a team, right? And if somebody is trying to mess with me in my dreams, I count myself lucky to have you there to ensure that the other individual isn't doing any foul play.
Like, I understand the need for it, and I've gotten to trust you a lot better, over this last month of travels, but I would rather if you stay out of my dreams. They're not exactly appropriate.
How so? It couldn't be worse than my vampire slut.
Wait, you're reading about them?
I don't know, Johnny. Emiko has quite the imagination. Speaking of Emiko, when Johnny's done with whatever this is, I'm going to need to see you, Lysel, and Gelwood for a moment.
Why can't
Okay.
I come?
I mean, you can, but
Okay, then I want to.
then feel free.
Okay, but why'd you only invite them?
It's kind of hard to cast a spell on somebody who isn't there.
Oh,
What exactly are we doing?
you all want to know now.
Alright, well, I was working on something last night. Took me a while to get to sleep. And I think I can use Lysel's connection to Ica to call upon some powers from the Reapers.
Wow. It's a pretty big thing to only tell 3 people.
Well, that part I was going to tell everybody, but as far as the actual ritual involved, I have an idea, but I only want to try it out on the people who I know will survive it. Does that make sense?
Wait,
It
is
does.
this gonna hurt?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm down.
Jay's gonna put his helmet back on.
Wait, hold on. That we might live? How on earth could we possibly die? Is there something that I'm not missing? Is there something that I'm missing here?
Xander shrugs and says, hey, Johnny's magic is the one with all the science involved, alright? This is all intuition.
Okay, I mean, if you guys are scared, I can go first.
I think you should go first, Emiko. I want to see now.
Okay, Emiko just steps up.
Alright then, give me a second. Xander's going to take a step back, and he's going to perform some somatic gestures, and then clap his hands together, and as he does, the ground beneath him cracks slightly from a dispersal of aether, and he says, Great Pillar of Mercy, Bianca, I call upon you from the ancient treaties that the Watchers of the elemental incarnation set in place many generations ago. I wish for you to protect this child of the world and protect her from death. And I'm going to cast Death Ward on Emiko.
Is that like a ritual, like an actual ritual?
No.
Okay. She got offended by calling her child. It like so as soon as she feels like the magic almost like finishing, she's gonna start screaming bloody murder. Like this is like painful.
Yeah, and
Oh god, you're killing her!
and you guys watch as on one of Emiko's fingers, I'll let Mickey decide which one, a band of ivy coalesces around it.
She's just collecting all these wedding rings, fuck.
And Xander is going to take another step back and take a deep breath and say, "There, that wasn't so bad, was it?" Now, who's next? Looking between Lysel and Jay.
I'll be next, says Lysel.
Can you do it to me? I want to experience it.
I mean, I can, but you don't really get hit that often.
But if I did, I'd want it. And I want to experience it at least once.
And
Where
goes
exactly
to
did you
push
pull that?
Lysel in the circle.
Where exactly did you pull that magic from again?
Oh, it showed up in my book.
Showed up.
Yes. Anyway, and
Wait, no. You didn't seek this out. It is just in the book that you've had with you the entire time.
You know my mother wrote this, right?
She seems like a kind woman.
As in, Queen of Petrus, Keeper of the Earth Incarnation, Astyanax.
Okay, we know your mother is Xander.
I mean, I'm just checking.
Which means she probably has access to it all the time.
Yes.
Xander, you hear in your head like a memory of like Nimra doing like the thing you're doing, but except she continues like Duchess of Petrus, this and this, mother of Xander, like just like going on and on. Because she does this. She used to do that a lot when you like talked back at her. She'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not remember who I am?"
It was quite the process. Sometimes she would use this magic when she knew that I was going to a local playground, just in case I fell off of a slide and broke my neck.
She death warded you on the playground?
Yes. The woman can bend the laws of reality itself by speaking a phrase. Wasn't exactly complicated for her.
I mean, honestly, that's a good mom.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not dead, so probably work.
Like, what if he
Some-
fell off a swing set?
Some kids get put on leashes, some get death ward.
Everyone
I
sees
mean-
a spectral
Everything's different.
orange hand appear out of nowhere and pat Xander on the head.
There, see? It's fine. Now, and Xander's gonna do the same thing to... I guess due to Johnny's persuasive attitude, I'm just gonna basically just take an extra hour and la-di-da-di everybody's gonna get a death ward.
Johnny looking at the ring. His finger. Does it only hurt Kitsune? Why did it affect Emiko, not us?
Hey, Emiko, you want to give a performance check?
Yeah. It's gonna be negative.
I got a 19 on insight, so Xander's just going to look to Johnny and say, that would be because Emiko was fucking with you.
Oh. Emiko.
I mean,
Oh.
no. Specifically, I was fucking with Xander, but, like...
Oh. How could...
How would that be fucking with me when I know that it wouldn't hurt me because I've had it done to me before? And...
Because you said you didn't know if it was gonna hurt us.
Oh.
Right, I didn't know if it would hurt you.
Oh,
Yep. So,
how could you be such a great performer? I think we know what you're gonna do in the circus.
I want to juggle knives and maybe eat
Oh.
some.
Anyway, we should get going because the spell only lasts for 8 hours.
Holy
Oh.
shit.
Okay. To the Crowley estate. On
You're...
that note, where is the Crowley estate?
Oh, I know where it is.
Ah, okay. Let's go.
I rolled for it last session.
Yeah, it'll be about 3 hours from your current location. Walking.
We walk to the Crowley estate.
Yeah. It's just walking through a city.
Vivian.
Nothing. What's up?
Vivian pulls Johnny aside long enough just to let him know to stay the fuck out of her dreams. She says it nicer than that. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Does anybody else not want Johnny in their dreams? We have
Emiko?
Emiko and Vivian on the list. Is it anybody else?
Lysel
but-
isn't here, so we will just ask them when you get here.
You already
Lysel
know
has given
Lysel.
consent.
Lysel has stated that Johnny is welcome in their dreams.
Oh
Oh
yeah!
my god, it's Lysel.
Hi, Lysel.
Hi Lysel, you've been here the whole time.
I am
Not the whole
curious,
time.
due to the way that Xander performs the death ward thing, is it any different for Lysel and how it manifests?
Are you asking me that, or are you asking Lysel that?
I'm asking Dakota that.
No, I wouldn't think so, considering it's coming from a Reaper that's not their own.
That's entirely fair. I do imagine that the band of Ivy looks pretty fucking sick around the skeletal fingies.
But we can get Chas to draw that.
We really are just like a poly. What do they call it? Polycules?
Polycule?
Molecule.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Okay. So,
The only thing Jay is devoted to is glory.
Xander is not into women, but if he was, Emiko would be his first choice.
Aww.
Wow.
No offense to Vivian, she's just very intimidating.
She'll take that.
Meanwhile, my character looks like fucking Goblin Slayer.
Why's it gotta be Goblin Slayer, you fuck?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
You got a fucking problem?
We're gonna kill Jello with hammers.
That's like the only thing that can kill him. He's wearing so much armor.
Hammers or a deck save?
No, my dex saves are pretty good with my charisma modifier. Also, I did take a point. I do have a +1 in dex because I was like, initiative, and then I roll 2s and shit anyways.
But excuse me. Nothing particularly crazy happens on your walk there. The city of Snows Reach is beautiful, very colorful. Again, the sidewalks are made out of a blue glowing crystal, so there's no need for like street torches or lamps or anything like that. And eventually you find yourself there is like a little opening where it splits off between like a sort of residential district of more private estates. And then off to the next way is like a shopping district of sorts. And when you all start to approach the area, do you take any precautions or anything like that?
There is one thing I want to do, but I want to confirm that we have this guy in sight first.
Oh, cool. I would like... Sorry. I ate a potato chip. I would like whoever wants to make me a investigation check.
Yes,
I'm gonna give guidance to whoever makes it.
I'll do it.
Can I actually roll stealth and
Yeah.
be a little bit stealthy?
Yeah.
What kind of check did you ask for initially?
Investigation.
25 investigation.
Okay, you're not getting that out of me. You can't waterboard that out of me.
21.
Yeah, so with the 21 and the 25, obviously you guys only vaguely know what this man looks like, as even in the visage of the dream, he was, mostly covered up. However, you take a scope of the area and you see people walking up and down the street, that are, doing something like walking their pets, or heading home from the store. You see a weird guy with pink hair and very strange robes cackling to himself as he's carrying a bunch of bags in his arms. Definitely not your guy. He's too loud about his appearance. And then, you... Yeah. Johnny and Vivian, your eyes rest on an individual. There's, within the neighborhood, the residential part, there's this, miniature, I wouldn't call it a park, but, a nice little, local garden that, people can sit and have a nice time at. There's, a few trees to sit under. Not big enough to really be considered a park, though. And you see an individual wearing very ornate robes. You don't necessarily recognize him, but he's wearing ornate robes and he is twirling a weird, metallic sphere between his hands. He's fidgeting with it, and he looks like he's waiting for somebody. He's not, suspicious about it, but you're looking for people that are waiting or doing something, and he's the only person that matches that sort of description. And he's wearing very expensive clothing.
Didn't Johnny turn into this guy in that guy's dream?
Yeah, it's just that... Yeah, I mentioned that, the only thing you know about him, though, is that he has, a beard. Because in the dream, he was also wearing the weird black market mask getup.
Right.
Can I do a thing after we've confirmed this person's location?
What would you like to do, Xander?
I want to go off into an alley. I want to pull out the corpse of the black market merchant. And while I'm doing this, I'm just going to have a silent image around me that I'm basically setting up a silent image of the environment around myself as if I wasn't there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And what I would like to do is take out the corpse of the black market dealer that we killed. I'm going to use his blood to make a circle around us. And then Xander is going to place his hands on the ground, and he's going to take out the holy symbol of Priscilla that he got a long fucking time ago. And he's going to concentrate on it. And he's going to cast Summon Greater Demon and request the assistance of a Dyebook, which is a demonic creature that can possess corpses.
How do you spell that?
D-Y-B-B-U-K. Thank you, Groove.
Dybbuk. Spelling Bee Champion 2024. Those middle schoolers didn't stand a chance.
That was funny, Groove. I was muted, but I did laugh.
Thank God. Can you do it out loud, please?
Oh, oh, oh. Ooh, that Groove.
All right.
Upon summoning the demon, Xander is going to say to it, "Speak your name."
I'm gonna do something real quick. Sorry, y'all. I know you casted this spell last game, but that don't fucking mean I remember shit. Under foul word. Okay. Sorry, I was looking up the spell.
Okay.
When you tell it to speak its true name, when you command it to speak its true name, it says Ajax. It says Apollyon, I'm kidding. Not the same.
He's so awesome.
LMAO. Xander is going to say, Ajax, take control of this corpse. The recently deceased has a friend nearby. I will point him out to you, in which you will engage him in conversation, so my allies may take him by surprise.
Yeah, the creature, which, by the way that it manifests is you see this, like, strange smoke that kind of looks like a person, but its face is constantly shifting between different features, and there are just two little white dots in place of eyes.
How many hit points did the merchant have when he was alive?
30.
Okay, so the dieback gains 30 temp HP. Alrighty, sick. And the demon, I assume, carries out my command, yes?
Yeah, the creature, basically how it does this is you see it crawl, like its smoky form turns into a much thinner vapor and it enters through his nose.
Hell yeah. Big fan.
And then you hear the sounds of, like, bones crackling and meat rearranging as the corpse animates. And, like, very animalistically crawls to a stand.
Now go, converse.
Yes. You hear in the merchant's voice. And then the individual walks over to the man. And you all hear the man say, "There you are. You're late." "I'm sorry. I got caught up in something." And the man leans forward and goes, "Why are you dressed like that out here? Something wrong with you or something today?" "Oh, that was just what I got caught up in. I didn't have time to change." "Change? Had no time. What happened?" And this guy is, like, totally invested.
Xander is going to cast Sending to the team and say, I'll only be able to keep this up for so long. Whatever you're going to do it quickly.
So we're kidnapping this guy, right? Is that the plan?
Broad daylight.
Yeah, let's kidnap him.
Great. Someone make a lot of noise in another direction. I'll turn him into a snail, slip him into my pocket, and let's go.
Johnny is going to cast Disguise Self and turn himself into the merchant. You said you need a lot of noise in another direction.
Yeah, just get
Good big
people looking
distraction.
a different way. Yeah, thank you. Well, Vivian
Can I distract
is gonna
him too?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Johnny's gonna. Oh, Xander, are you done with this bit, or do you want to be uninterrupted any longer? Can Johnny interrupt your thing?
I was literally just doing this as a distraction, so you do you, honey
Okay.
badger.
Yeah, Johnny runs up as the merchant, says, "Wait! It's a fake! Don't believe him!"
What? What in the six is going on here?
Chess, would you be so kind as to roll me a charisma saving throw added, just a flat roll, because normally it would have advantage, but it has disadvantage. So it's a flat roll, gets a +2.
9.
Okay, it fails. It is still under my control for now.
Yeah, Johnny says,
No, you mustn't. You mustn't believe this creature. This is what I mean. This is what I was talking about how there's doppelgangers following me. What in the six is going on?
Nay, haven't you heard the word? That is the doppelganger. My dear compatriot. Please.
Hey, Jess?
Hey, me.
Ask us something only the real one would know.
Oh, actually, no. Do that first. That sounds very funny.
I would like to just throw out there, the die book does gain the knowledge possessed by the corpse.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you this guy's name?
I think it was Carl.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was Carl. I remember that.
It definitely wasn't Carl. But yeah. He says, alright then, what's your true name? Your non-merchant name. And, the one possessed by the... Oh my god. I'm sorry, I got potato chips stuck in my teeth.
Xander is going to command the die book to answer the questions honestly.
How honestly?
I'm Ajax.
I'm Ajax.
This creature is literally smarter than me, so I assume it's able to extrapolate.
Yeah. I'm just opening my notes back up real quick.
You could just say Carl.
You can just say Carl.
No.
You can just say Carl.
None of us remember.
I don't think he ever said it. I don't think you guys ever asked him. I don't think you cared enough about him to ask. So, oh, well, of course I know. It's Pierre.
Yeah, Johnny says, I do that too. It's Pierre. No, you need to point at us. Ask us a specific question. Only one of us.
This is going to be really funny. And everything that's about to happen is going to kick off all at once, including anyone's response to this. This man is going to point at Johnny, disguised as the guy, and this ring on his finger is going to light up. Johnny, I need you to make a dex save. I think it's a dex save. Let me check before I'm lying.
I also really like that I said, I need you to make a distraction over there, and Johnny walked up to the guy. I was like, I really should have been more clear about what I meant.
Yeah.
It was the exact opposite of not next to this guy, but I'm very excited.
I got a 9 on my dex save.
Okay, that is...
Does that succeed?
No, it does not. But I guess whatever anyone's going to do, now this guy is thoroughly distracted.
Hey, Jess, I see him casting a spell.
It is out of an object.
I see him casting a spell out of an object.
Yes.
Polymorph. Wisdom save, please.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so all of this is gonna go off at once. But let me do this. 1, 2, 3.
Are there people around? I think I missed that detail.
I mean, not that many. There are people, like, walking down the street further up, and this is definitely going to startle them, but likely you can get this off fast enough. Okay. Yeah, so this guy casts lightning bolt out of his ring.
Oh no!
Lightning bolt up his ass.
Counterspell.
It is out of an object. Magical
that matters.
item. It does.
Creature. They're just casting a spell, right? If you cast a spell out of an object, you're just casting a spell.
The trigger-
They're not casting a spell. They are
Using
using
an
a
item.
magic item.
Yeah,
So,
this is why spell scrolls can be counterspelled as well.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's not gonna fucking, like, murder you or anything. It's just gonna sting really bad.
counter spell scrolls?
Okay. Let's get you back to bed, Grandpa.
Let's get you back to bed, Grandpa.
I bet you never played it before.
Yeah, so, since you failed the deck save, you will take 32 points of lightning damage.
no, quite work.
Anyway, Silvery Barbs to whatever roll he's about to make. Fucking snail time.
Yeah. You probably won't even need to do that, because, he got a 12.
Snail's going in the bag.
Yeah, so basically, here's what goes down. Basically, the summoned demon's like, oh yeah, my name's Pierre, so obviously I'm the real one. And then Johnny goes, no, yeah, Pierre, I know that. And then the guy, like, he's holding a gun in his hand, just, like, loosely points his hand out at him, and a big bolt of lightning just shoots out at him. And at the exact same time that happens, like, the moment the spell finishes from the ring, the, man suddenly shrinks down and is a snail, and Vivian, like, runs through and scoops him up and into the bag. So, like, the people around hear, like, a loud kadush, but then turn around and nothing's happened.
Just like Johnny looking like a cooked marshmallow.
Oh, yeah.
The die book, Xander is going to command him to climb atop a elevated surface, doesn't matter what it is, and just start speaking as Pierre, basically, and he's going to inform the crowd that he is a black market merchant who has been knowingly selling goods supplied by the Skinari, and that the law enforcement of license is doing nothing about it.
Yeah, there aren't many people out here, but you do, like, hear some, like, gasps of people that are kind of, like, horrified, because, again, this is a much nicer part of the city, and there's actually some guards that, as a response to the, like, loud crash, start running up, and hearing, like, law enforcement's doing nothing about it. One of the guards looks visibly disgusted, because he is literally a kitsune, and,
Yeah. Two things. We have left the scene. This guy starts yelling. We're pattering out of there.
yeah.
Just to be 100% clear. Second, that is also a better thing than what I was going to do. I was just going to say Vivian looks up and says, "Excuse me," and walks away. So this is much better.
Yeah, and the two guards come up and basically start assailing the guy.
Yep, and after 12 seconds, I lose control of the demon. So the demon is free to act as it chooses.
Yeah, you hear some not so pleasant noises. But then you hear some, after like maybe 20 seconds, you hear more of the not so pleasant noises coming from the dieback itself.
Yeah.
And you hear several magical shishing, shishing, shishings,
Yeah,
and then
no,
like gurgling.
I didn't want this to hurt any civilians, so I did the thing that would get the guards' attention.
Yeah, and
Nicely done.
because the guards and license are kind of fucking scary, you hear maybe them get hit like a few times, but then that fucking demon is shut down.
Yeah,
very
after
quickly.
the demon takes 30 damage, the possession would end, revealing the demon itself, and also after I lose control out of it, it will persist for 5 rounds before disappearing. So, worst case scenario, after 30 seconds, the demon ceases to exist.
Yeah. But you hear, like, as you guys are, like, probably, like, casually walking it off, pretending nothing happened, you see more guards run out of a random ass building that you assume is like a post of some kind and then run up the street.
What are the odds it's all of the cops that were in that building?
Not very.
Fucking Xander, as we're hurrying away, is like silently like hyping himself up and celebrating. He looks to Emiko and says, "That may just be the scariest yet coolest thing I've ever done."
Yeah, high five.
High five.
Yeah.
I can't feel my tongue.
It'll pass
Who's giving
eventually,
you
I'm
berries?
sure. You shouldn't have anything to worry about.
You should wear like rubber shoes.
What's rubber?
What's rubber?
The fuck is rubber?
I barely even know her.
Wait. We totally have. No, this world totally has rubber. There's no way it doesn't.
Hey, just because it has it doesn't mean we know about it.
True. Polymorph lasts for an hour, right? Where are we taking this guy? Or no, actually, I think it lasts for 10 minutes, doesn't it?
I don't remember. You were
I'm gonna look it up.
I cast it, but here we go.
Polymorph lasts up to 1 hour concentration.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Alright,
Great. We'll take him someplace and we'll set up the tent and put him in there.
Yeah, so where would you guys
we're
like to
gonna
take him?
we're gonna take him to the slums where this will not draw any attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go into the area where you ran into the fucking creepy guy the one time. And
Fuck that guy.
And again, people don't really pay you any mind.
Okay, we have him.
Let's just like walk into a random building, just like a random shop. Walk in, toss 20 gold to the person behind the counter, and be like, "Take an hour break."
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you guys, let me make a roll. You guys find a random bookshop. The door, like has windows on it, but they're boarded up. And there's just someone like sitting behind the counter reading a book.
Yeah. Toss money in their direction, ask them, or, I guess tell them that they're going to take an hour break.
Yeah, one of
lock
you,
the door behind them.
One of you, or whoever really wants to, make me an intimidation check.
I got it.
Am I providing help action with 20 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. And guidance? Well, no, someone else has to go.
You don't need to spend gold on that. I can do it for free.
Too late. Already done.
That'll be 26.
Yeah, the individual, looks up, sees the 20 gold, and just goes, "Hi, you know what? It's been a while since I've had one of the Claire's cupcakes."
Get two. Take your time.
Absolutely.
Cupcakes.
Do you all
Yeah, run
wanna-
along. No, that's quite alright. You run along and we'll look after the place in your absence, okay? Goodbye.
Yeah,
Wait,
he, gets up and,
Johnny gives him a gold piece. Bring me one, please.
chocolate or vanilla.
Yes.
Got it. And,
Right then. Get on your bike. Fuck off.
That's contrary to what I was gonna tell him. I was gonna say never to come fucking back.
Yeah, the individual, grabs their coat off of a rack and then, very hastily puts it on. Because it is fucking snowing outside. It's cold as balls outside.
Sure.
And
He goes
runs
outside,
out.
door slam, all the locks clicking into place. Vivian, deep breath as the hour passes, and she gets him out of the bag just in time.
What
should we do to
what is the floor made out of in here?
Wood.
Wood? Okay.
Yeah. The
I want
man.
to meet the good people.
Is there any rocks outside? Like big rocks?
Not big rocks, no. There's
How
no,
many small rocks can I gather in an hour?
20?
Okay, how small are we talking?
Like maybe a little smaller than the palm of your hand.
20. Would it be enough to fill a 5-foot cube?
Wouldn't fill it in its entirety, but it can be manipulated in that much of a space.
Sick. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna arrange it I'm gonna arrange them in a circle around where Vivian puts the puts the dude. And as soon as he reverts to his normal form, I'm gonna cast Stone Shape, and I'm going to shape the rock in such a way that both blinds and restrains him, if you'll permit me.
Yeah, he gets out, he like pops out, and it looks like he's about to lift his hand to use his ring again, but that ring is only once per day, and you see it like light up for a second, then fizzle out, and then he's blinded and restrained.
His head's exposed. Can I take the ring off him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine.
What do you say we knock him out, get Johnny back in there? Do the same thing we did before, since I don't really feel like role-playing torture if we can help it.
Let's torture him. Let's just spend an hour torturing him. Let's describe
rather
it.
not.
Well, okay, I hate to say this, no, but we're already torturing him.
Sure.
In a way.
As soon as we ask him a question, he's being tortured.
We're gonna fade to black and get some information out of him. How's that?
This is a role play thing as well. Vivian is not gonna like fucking let him rip this guy's fingernails off. Is what I'm saying, and we have an effective method of interrogation without doing that.
Joey, sorry, shit. Gelwood?
Yeah.
Do you have the big stick prepared?
I have several. All of them are in this inconspicuous bag.
The interrogation stick.
Oh, I don't have one of those. I just point and yell sternly until they give me what I want.
I thought you had an eventuality for everything.
Would you say no to me? Look at me. Would you say no to me?
Gelwood, knock him out, please.
Okay.
And I bash him on the side of the head.
Yeah. Since he's restrained, he has no meaningful way to resist this. I'm not gonna make y'all sit here and poke him till he hits 0 either. So yeah, you knock him out. He is unconscious.
Johnny enters his dream. What does he see?
Oh, he really wouldn't say no to me.
You see a very weird, like, space, expanse. Like, it literally looks like a galaxy with, like, objects and things floating through it, but they're very, blurry. This guy isn't a very visual dreamer. But then you see him kind of floating in the suspended space, but he is also, like, phasing in and out. This is basically your ability's way of representing to you that this person does not visually dream, but your magic is giving you a visual representation.
Yeah, Johnny says under his breath, okay, let's try this again. And he will take the form of Pierre. And what do we need to get out of this guy?
I think basically asking the same questions we asked last time, right? What does he know about the person that's the corrupt official? What does he know about the informant? What does he know about the Skinari? Who are his contacts? Who does he meet with? Where does he meet them? Anything that could give us, like...
to create the sensation, the noise of the Crowley estate. And you will say, as Pierre, thank you for rescuing me from that dastardly doppelganger. Your lightning made short work of him.
Oh.
I'm afraid I was wounded in the altercation as we escaped.
I feel...
Can you... I know. Please, let me coddle you. And in his right ear, he hears, like, cloth, as if he's laying on someone's lap.
No, everything went so wrong.
Johnny takes the form of a great big, warm, comfy blanket and encases him in it.
Yeah, and he says, I was going to tell you that I got a business deal that would allow me to agree to your idea of going to Winterbane here in a short time. But the caveat to it was that we would have to go into the depths for a few days. They are...
Please, tell me of this deal.
The, I guess, connection between us and those Skinner bastards told me that they were bringing all operations to the depths for some reason or another. Something about the confidentiality being broken and they're trying to weed out what it's from. Other things like that. Also some failures on there. They're very private. They didn't explain it to me in detail. Just that because of others' failures and shortcomings, all business must be conducted in the depths. But they told me if in our travels if I gave them at the time of trade a little more information, they would give us a permanent set-up shop in Wintersbane.
I see. What is our exact business in Winterbane, then? I can't wait.
They told us, essentially, that they would give the details when we got down there, but the connection told me that that there's a thorn in their side, some noble here in License. Forgot his name. I think they said his name was Cameron or something like that. If I was their carapace for hiring someone to kill him, which that's already been done, that when we made our official deal, they would give us a permanent setup in Winterbane, away from all the black market nonsense.
Johnny is relaying this out loud, right?
Yeah.
Xander is going to immediately cast Sending to Camillus and inform him, hey, we just got confirmation. There are fucking assassins after you, so, be careful.
Oh, shit. Okay. You hear a very, I wouldn't say necessarily overly worried response, but a very annoyed one, fuck. Okay.
Mondays, am I right?
Mondays.
Well, Camillus is a pretty, well set up sorcerer, but he doesn't like the idea that someone's trying to kill him, and it could go badly. But he's not, scared at pissing his pants. It's oh, fuck, okay.
It would have been so funny if when I sent him that message, he'd be like, yeah, I know, I'm fighting him right now, thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
Hey, assassins are
Camillus, there are assassins after you. Oh god, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yeah, you do get another response back that this is more from him just casting the spell that says, that would explain the people following me this morning. I'll give you an update.
Awesome. Best of luck.
Yeah, and,
Xander, out loud, looking at Emiko, is going to say, I don't think he'll have much of a problem. He strikes me as an individual who's very good at handling large groups of men.
Just kidding. That was
That was funny.
but the man also says, but some stupid nobles, not the least of my worries. I think I know who they were asking about, and honestly, nobles that think that they can become like the rest of us and demote themselves by becoming adventurers, thinking that they're suddenly one of us, are an ilk best left to the rats.
Sander flips him off.
Huh.
He has the sensation of his hair being ruffled through, stroked. Were you going to say something else?
Yes.
Heather?
And he also says, it would also be best to get him killed anyway, considering that our good friend Romulus Dacre is related to him. Could get messy if that brat points his nose where it doesn't belong.
Of course.
Rom's an idiot. Fat fuck's gonna get caught eventually, and he's not gonna be able to defend himself.
Defend himself from what?
He's been, winning the favor illegitimately in elections via deals with the Skinari as well. They keep him elected. He keeps them out of jail. A similar deal he made with us, which is how I know about the Skinari end of things. Otherwise, he's a fucking idiot and normally wouldn't remain in Parliament past his first election. He can't keep it up for much longer. He only has 2 more runs before the licensed government will kick him out permanently, since they only allow them to be in office for a certain amount of time. All the seats have to be replenished every 15 or so years.
You're so smart. I wonder, has Romulus, or Lord Romulus, set assassins about his brother?
Who, Camillus? Well, Camillus is actually his nephew. He hates the child. Hated him ever since he was a boy, considering that every time we've met up for payments, he bitched about him. If I didn't do it, maybe he would have gotten the balls eventually. Thing is that he loves his sister, and his sister loves her child, so too much of a coward.
Intriguing. Romulus hates Camillus, but would not wish him to death.
I don't think so, no. Purely out of the love for his sister over anything else, but he, waves his hand. You can see it, you can feel that he is urging that to happen. That doesn't matter now. What matters is soon we can leave this shithole of a city and make business in Wintersbane.
I can't wait. Speaking of business, what of our supply chains?
Well, there's our contact, who bridges us between the Skinari. Thank God, because I don't want to talk to them. Although, they're probably gonna kill him soon. He very obviously doesn't want to do what he's doing, which makes him lazy. You know that he almost shorted us on our last shipment?
No. I think you should keep tabs on him. What's his identity?
He's a little Lupra fellow. He kind of looks like a fucked up gnoll, honestly.
No, my lover. Don't be racist.
I more of just insult him because he's a coward. Also, word is that he's from Frumal.
Brumal, where is he residing in Calmara?
He remains on the outskirts of Snow's Reach until they move him. That's who I was going to speak with last night because I wanted compensation for him shorting us on our shipment by way of coin, and also because the ring is still in his dream, he lifts up his finger that the ring is on and looks at it and goes, and by way of a few scars.
Were you successful, or does he remain
Oh,
unhandled?
He's still alive, of course. If I killed him, the Skinari would sever ties with us. That is their animal to euthanize.
Ugh.
Once again, we've talked about the racism, honey. We gotta work on that.
Again, it has nothing to do with what he is, more of how he behaves.
Well, even if it's incidental, I shouldn't argue with you. You saved me, after all.
Of course I did.
Of course you did. And what of our contacts within the government?
The only one we have is Romulus. You remember this, right?
I feel a little lightheaded after our incident with that doppelganger. Thank you so much for helping me recover. I can't even begin to tell you how much it means to me.
Oh, of course.
And do we have anything else you want to ask this guy?
Nope, let's kill him.
Yeah, so
Nice and quick.
before that, Johnny, the man feels the sensation of his head being felt in the hands of his lover. And he says, will you tell me that story again? The story of how we came to be?
Yeah, and he, repeats it in the same way that Pierre recalled it the night before. And he seems a little more narcissistic about his involvement in it, like, holier than thou type attitude.
I think Xander just looks at Emiko and nods.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question,
Well,
actually, of the group?
Yeah.
Before we go too much further? So we know about Romulus now, who is the mole in Parliament. So the main issue that we have for not turning this person in can be taken care of if Romulus is taken care of. Do we want to turn them both in and see if they can get anything else out from them?
What do you mean turn Romulus and this guy?
Yeah, because if Romulus is taken care of, and there is no mole left, unless I'm wildly misunderstanding, and I apologize if I am, if Romulus is taken care of and we turn them both in, that's 2 informants that they now have and 2 people now in jail.
Ideally, yes, but it's our word against a government official. There's no way.
Well, it's Camus too, right? Does he have any power over? If he doesn't, then let's fucking smoke this guy. But if
you guys,
if he does,
I'm gonna ask Camelus about it.
So do you ask him if he has any authority?
Yeah, Xander is going to say, so we found out that your uncle Romulus is the mole. If we try turning him in, what are the chances you can help us get him arrested?
You hear back in response, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then a few seconds later, you receive, sorry, what a waste of a response. It would take a lot of work, but there is something I can do. I would need a little help. Would you mind meeting me at the same tavern I took you to tonight and we can discuss it further? I'm getting ready to leave my house.
Sure, we're going to be bringing along a +1 though, so we're going to want to make sure it's secure.
that is definitely something I can do. And then, like, a few seconds pass, kind of an awkward few seconds, and then you hear, I hope it's not a never mind.
Xander is going to respond, "Of course not, darling. I'm going there for you, after all."
You don't get a response with words, but, like, your brain feels warmer for, like, 3 seconds. And then, like, a whole, like, minute later you get, okay, I'll see you there.
Right, Xander is going to say out loud to all of his friends, "So, how do we get this rapscallion to the tavern that we met Camillus without drawing too much attention? I vote that we use one of the spare helmets that we have, sort of black out the insides so he can't see, and put him in a big coat so we can have him manacled without anybody noticing."
We could
One
also...
more moment, Xander. One more moment, please. Johnny, while he's here, is going to sense the dreams of this individual. Are they evil?
Very. I mean, like, they're greedy, you know. He, similarly to Pierre, but maybe even less of a care, he knows that what the Skinari do is wrong, and he, you know, I wouldn't say that he likes it, but, like, he has the same view as Pierre, is like, they're already dead, I don't even know what the shit's made out of, as long as it's magical shit that I can sell for a fuck ton of money, I don't really care. Except Pierre just very loosely does that, like, he kind of tries not to associate with it, you know, he kind of tries to distance himself from the prospect. However, this guy fucking doubles down on it. Like, he literally does not give a shit.
Got it. So, yeah, evil.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take us to get back?
To get to the tavern that you met Camillus at from here, it's about a 35-minute walk.
Here's enough room here's enough air in the bag for about an hour,
Yep.
right?
10 minutes, but we can just leave it open so air gets in.
Oh, that'll work.
That's what I was thinking as well.
Are we turning this man in? He is indisputably evil.
To make an example out of him.
But if we turn him
Did you
in,
guys fucking say that at
he
the
will
same
not be
time?
consumed.
Yeah, we apparently did. Xander is going to place a hand on Johnny's shoulder and says, "Johnny, do you know what separates us from the evils of the world, despite the fact that many things we do break the laws of man? We are here to leave the world a better place than once we found it. And to do so, certain concessions must be made. We can't just leave a trail of corpses in our wake. That would cause chaos and cause the world to be much darker. I actually had this epiphany recently that if all we're doing is going about killing every Skinari member we meet, we are not bringing justice, we are simply becoming an occupational hazard. I wish to do more than that."
You're wrong, Xander. Tell me, if evil is removed from this world, what is left?
Benign entities.
It's a moot point. Evil will never be
Even good.
removed from the world.
Perhaps with such a weak mindset, certainly. But if all evil is consumed, then this world will flourish. Such rhetoric is common, and is the reason that evil festers in this world.
Johnny, do you know who Malum is?
No.
Malum and his sons of treachery reside in the Hells. One of them, one by the name of Priscilla, I've had unfortunate personal dealings with. He takes the strongest of his own children and corrupts them, turning them into soulless entities called Disruptor Knights. They are destruction and evil incarnate. Yet, there is nothing we can do about this evil. It will always remain because Priscilla is, for all intents and purposes, a fucking god.
You know much of history, then, Xander. Tell me.
I've read a few books.
As long as this world has existed, far preceding my time on it, has a god ever fallen? Has a god ever been consumed?
Not that I can recall.
Make a
Chess.
history
I was gonna
check.
say, I was gonna say thinking about fucking Chrono Harris. I was like, doesn't that count? Does that count?
Also,
Also,
Colonel
the
Harrison
big bad in that campaign.
Yeah,
The
He
big
was
bad was not a god. He was an angel.
true.
He was an angel, yes.
That'll be a 15. DM.
No. There are no instances of gods or someone that is directly a god dying. There are instances of beings who have attained godlike power, but being someone with godlike power and being a god are not the same thing.
Oh yes.
Do I know the thing that happened with Ryland's predecessor?
No. And even then, he did not die. He discorporated himself into Rylan, with effectively
But
dying.
that's the point I was going to make.
Yeah, you know that that Rylan is basically a replacement, but not like the nitty gritty details of like.
Sure. What about Aether?
That either. There isn't a lot like publicly known about the origin aspects because they precede time.
That's entirely fair. I wasn't sure if like there was any mythology about it though.
No, because there was no one alive to witness that even happen other than like the.
Fair enough. So I think what Xander will say to Johnny is, no. By definition, gods cannot die. It is an immutable fact about them.
And I
thus,
shall not kill this god, Milan. I shall consume him and harbor that evil within myself. As with this man, no corpses shall be left behind, for all shall be digested for the purposes of cleansing this world of such vileness. It is my quest. To deny me it would be to deny Sir Elwood of his quarry, to say that he should give his own mother the facsimile of it. Mercy. That being said,
I'm not asking.
I understand your position. If you truly cannot bring yourself to aid me in slaying this man, I will do it in my own time. But it would bring me great comfort to know I am supported in this matter.
I'll help you.
Johnny, I would never deny you your feast of evil. I personally don't particularly care what happens to this individual after he stands trial and the justice of law is brought upon him. I do not care what happens to him after that, so if he were to turn up dead and consumed in his cell that he's rotting in, well, these things happen, don't they?
Indeed, but I know not the morality of law. I know merely of my own hunger and a purpose embedded within me.
Since you know
Xander.
your own hunger, do you mind a question about your philosophy?
I fear that I have not learned the words to answer your question as well as I would like, but
Then
you have been
allow
quite
me to
kind in allowing me to probe you, Jay. Please.
Yes, then allow me to ask, and you can change your mind should the winds take you in a certain direction, but for now, I am curious. Does the suffering of evil appease the same appetite? And, as an alternative, if evil is punished and then removed without being consumed, is that in itself another evil, or is it another way to absolve us of it?
To your first question, I say no. I am not satiated by suffering. I merely wish to see this evil consumed. With mercy, if possible, but with certainty as well. I'm afraid I do not understand your second question. Could you reword it for me?
Let's take it this way. This man. We'll assume that this man that we have in our custody is somebody who, for the purposes of the example, is not nearly as unforgivable as we believe him to be. When he is sent to a cell and made to think about his crimes for years upon years on end, and sees the devastation that he himself has wrought, and decides that when he leaves, he would rather not cause said devastation again. No longer is this man evil, because he has replaced his ideology of bad with one of good. But, because of the evil that he has done in the past, does this reconciliation satisfy you? Now, the assumption is that we are dealing with somebody who is much more, how should I say, open-minded than the individual we are actually dealing with, but it is a hypothetical.
Certainly. I shall entertain it to the best of my ability. The evil I consume is tangible. I smell it, I feel it, I taste it. The flavor is horrible, but it is immutable proof that evil exists within this man. Say, in your hypothetical, that over the course of this man's time, he were to be cured of these evil dreams. Where would you suggest that evil has gone?
Well, I supposed that in an instance where the person's evil is gone from himself,
Who has consumed it?
it does not necessarily need to be consumed if it is killed, no. The corpse will rot away, and it will go back into the earth, same as if it were digested.
You've actually just given me a very good question, Sir Elwood. Johnny, your consumption of evil, must it always result in the death of the one you consume it from?
Johnny thinks on this for a moment. And he will raise his hand, preparing to end this man with a spell. I don't know. But in such a case, my hunger would go unsated. And as he prepares the spell, the great glowing orb of energy, he thinks for a moment, and a new hunger overcomes him. But I do wish to know.
We pause 1 second. I need to AFK, but I do have another thing that I want to ask Johnny.
Yes,
Perfect. So,
sure.
Joey has to shit.
You want to take our shit break? Chas?
I can pause the recording and we can take a quick break.
Awesome. I'm gonna make myself a sandwich. I'm fucking hungry.
Okay.
Okay.
Start
Yeah.
recording.
Yep, we're back.
I can't help but notice we didn't ask about Dakota. Dakota, are you back?
We know Dakota's here.
Was anybody ever really here?
Whoa.
Dakota, I just want to make sure that, you know that we acknowledge your presence and we appreciate it.
I thought you were just gonna straight up ignore me, and I was like, all right. See if I say hello to you again.
Because we know, because you're consistent.
Yeah, we have never had to ask, is Dakota back? Because we just feel it in our hearts.
I don't need to ask if my dick is going to be in my pants in the morning. I know it's going to be there. It's not like I'm forgetting about it.
Are you sure?
I'd be really
Giant
sad.
Gilmore bit it off.
This is the noise I make.
That's me waking up every day and my boobs are still there.
every day I wake up, smack.
Fucking yeah. So as the camera cuts back on, we see that Xander is now eating a pastry from the shop.
Johnny will put his hands down.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
The more that I thought about it, it ended up being less of a question, more of a statement.
Go ahead.
He says,
Johnny, you've been reading quite a bit.
Indeed.
I know that the material that you're looking at is not necessarily the most conducive to philosophical thought.
Don't you dare say that to vampire smut.
You tell him, Johnny.
You already know what my thoughts are on those of the vampiric persuasion. But when I was younger, I used to read a lot of people would probably call them folk tales, fairy tales, something of the like. And those were basically created as mini philosophy books for small children to keep them from going and doing things that would get them in trouble. And one such story that I read was one about essentially a boogeyman that would try to spread fear in the hearts of the heroes that tried to best him. And the most frightening thing that he ever said was that so long as hatred existed within the hearts of man, that he would always return. And so I ask to you, as a result of this interesting little story, I know not of the existence of an actual creature that happens to think this sort of thing about itself or has this sort of power, but in the instance where hatred is what brings evil, even the hatred of evil things, would you still consider the idea of your mission being able to be finished? For surely, once you have devoured all evil, there would be no hatred, but I mean, people hate everything. People hate for any reason. Doesn't need to be an evil reason, necessarily. Some people just have hatred for whatever it is. The weather, the animals, the plants, the bugs, annoyances that they face on their daily lives. In this weird contingency, we'll say, what would your plan be then?
I would deny your hypothesis. Hatred indeed exists in great quantities, but it is not hatred that breeds evil. There are certainly those who would despise the circumstances of their life, or perhaps the area in which they live. But this does not bring them to cause the suffering of innocent beings for no greater gain. Hatred may cause evil. In many cases, it may catalyze it. But hatred does not need to be cleansed for evil to be removed from this world. Only those who mediate it in an evil manner. That is well within my diet.
Was
But-
just an old fairy tale, so I assume we will have to see which rendition of the story is true.
And see we may. Johnny puts his hand down. Xander, Emiko, Sir Elwood, I should wish, above all, that we remain unified in belief as well as practice. For this, thus far, has yielded me the most bountiful meals. Let us make a bet, then, with this man. Let us, as you said, see what happens. Satiate our curiosities. Should he be redeemed? Should evil have an avenue out of this world, aside from consumption? Then I will be forced to reconsider. But if he leaves his confinement and evil still dwells in his heart, then let us say that we shall never face such a dilemma again.
I think Emika's gonna raise her hand and be like, I was on your side. I also think we should kill them. Him.
Well, they're both not on my side, so I need somebody on my side too. I just kind of like to support Emiko.
Johnny, again I ask, is it possible to consume evil without killing the host? Because I think, should you be able to accomplish that, that would make you perhaps the greatest cleanser of evil that has ever existed and will ever exist.
I believed you to share sentiments with Sir Elwood, but do you mean quite literally the separation of evil from its host?
Yes. If anybody could do it, I would say it would be you. He who can step into the dreams of those around him and shape their worldview through your own design. I would think that such a power could be used to remove things. Would it not?
I'm unsure. But if such a thing were possible, to remove the evil from an animal, and only the evil, while leaving the rest of it intact, it would grant me a great deal of comfort. And he awakened from the dream. For now, let us see if evil can be nearly destroyed. Shall we bring him to Camillus?
Indeed. Xander is going to lean really close to this guy and kind of caress his face and say, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and do what is truly right. But I still want to kill you. So please, give me a reason. And then he's going to back away. Basically just trying to intimidate this dude into not fucking around.
Yeah, he's not fully conscious, but yeah.
Yeah. We will stuff him in a bag. We will keep his head out of the bag and put a helmet on him. So it looks like we just have a real full bag and there's a helmet so he can breathe. Next thing we're going to do, Vivian is going to look around and say, very well, I think we're ready to go, but before we are ready to go, I will need 5 minutes. Is that acceptable?
Wait. We may need more. Has that man returned yet? I gave him a gold piece.
You also gave him an hour, and I said I'd watch his shop for him. So I'm going to relax here for an hour, and also get some of my etheric energy back.
You say we're going to
can't waver on this, Vivian. I say that we're going to must wait.
I apologize. I kept talking over you, and I genuinely didn't mean to. You say we're going to wait here for an hour, and Vivian is off like a shot going through all the books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and she's going to. She was
surprisingly-
asking for 5 minutes to find books, and instead it was like an hour. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, and for the fact that this is a very cruddy-looking bookshop in a very, horrible part of town, honestly, the selection is quite good, and it looks like the person puts very delicate effort into keeping all of them well-maintained.
Yeah, she's gonna get. I'm gonna roll a d12.
Why are you choosing what you roll?
Because I want to see how many we can get before she gives up. She's gonna buy 12 books.
Yeah,
this is all books.
Not only
12
that,
books, and she's gonna stuff them all in the bag.
yeah, but not only that, but also all of the books are like unfairly priced, and I don't mean too expensive. I mean like not expensive enough.
Yeah, she's gonna leave 3 gold.
Yeah, which is more than enough for the cost
So-
of the books.
Yeah, Xander is going to leave a silver for the pastry.
Yeah. Vivian has also been wildly caught up because and Drew, feel free to jump in here, but if you disagree, but I think that when she got those books for Johnny, her stipulation was that at the end of every chapter, he is allowed to ask her 10 questions total, maximum, no more than that, but she will answer them. And then, he tore through the first 2 books, and then she had bought 4 others. So even though she didn't curate those for him, she kind of is like, I probably shouldn't be giving him these because he is sort of like a sponge, but she's so intoxicated by the fact that for the first time in her life, she has her own book club. Granted, it is with the weirdest dude alive, but she'll take what she can fucking get.
Yeah.
And so she has been swapping books back and forth, and is again, going into this with reckless abandon, and buying 12 more books that she can talk to Johnny about.
Minnow.
Yeah,
I would like you to just roll a d20 for me and tell me what you get.
sure. Hope it's not a 1. It's a 1.
Is it actually?
It is actually a 1.
You gotta stop declaring it, because then it will happen. Yeah. Cool. I'll keep that in mind.
Great. Yeah, and then an hour passes.
Yeah,
We'll add.
you hear the locks turn on the door, and then the person very nervously peeks in.
Johnny's face inches away.
Ah! Yeah. The cupcakes? Yes.
Welcome back, my friend. Things have been calm in your absence. You've made yourself quite a bit of money.
Have I?
Oh, indeed.
Vivian now also up in his face, holding a book up for him, and she opens it up to the front page, which is signed. And she says, hang on, what did she say? 1 second. Gotta scroll up here. Yeah, she holds up the book, which has a signed autograph on the front. She says, "Have you met Auburn Courts?"
Oh, yes, I have. She lives here, actually.
Don't ever
Vivian
tell a fan
drops
of
the
the
book.
author that the author lives
He
here.
what? Auburn Ports lives here in this building?
No, not in the building, no. Just in
Oh.
license.
Oh.
I was so afraid I had committed a crime in Auburn Courts' home.
No, nothing like that.
I would have had to kill you, Vivian.
Oh,
Oh, no.
no, nothing like that. Yeah,
Really?
she...
They moved to Teosia. That's interesting. For a while there, they had a summer home in Petrus.
Oh, yes, Auburn Courts is very, successful. She does a lot of really good work. Actually, she, also, signed a few bookmarks for me. I have them in a little lockbox, because they weren't selling very well.
What?
What?
Oh, yeah, the,
I hand him a
people-
platinum piece. I'll take all of them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and he,
Vivian.
goes back
How
into
could
his
you?
shop.
He gives him an additional gold piece.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he goes into, his, shop and pulls out, a little... It's the worst lockbox you've ever seen in your life. For one, it's made out of wood. You can break it with a fucking hammer. And it has the rustiest padlock you've ever fucking seen on it. But it is locked. He takes a tinier key, and he unlocks it, and he hands you... And they are nice bookmarks. They're actually, they're made out of, some type of, creature feather, and then, hardened with, resin, and then have, the author's signature on it. And he hands you 10 of them.
Stares at them.
Because that's all that he has, is 10 of them. Yeah, they're made from, phoenix feathers with, resin poured over them.
Vivian, would you mind too terribly if I were to snag one of those?
Vivian is dumbfounded, staring at them. She did not hear you.
Wild.
I made the bookmarks myself and had her sign them.
I think Xander is going to kind of wave a hand in front of Vivian's eyes.
Huh?
Vivian. And then
Yes.
Xander has a moment of realization and then waves his hands in front of Caleb's eyes.
What? Sorry. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Xander, what did you want?
I was asking if I could perchance lay claim to one of these for a gift later.
She glares at you. And then she reaches into her bag and says, "You have to read this first," and hands you a book by Auburn Courts.
Gatekeep, yes! Gatekeep!
What's the name of the book?
It's the one that she
What are you
gave
giving
you.
Xander?
Has Xander read this book, Chess?
Does Xander read gay vampire romance?
I mean, obviously.
Then yes.
Obviously.
Actually, your mom invited Auburn Courts to a house party once.
Indeed. Xander looks at the book and says, "One I know well. I actually have a copy of it in my study. That is..." And then he has he gets an expression on his face, like a look of realization. And then he says, "Never mind, I'm not telling you." And he smirks.
Wait. Vivian, we need to ask him the question.
Of course. The question that
Who do you
everyone who's a
think?
true fan would know.
Deserved to get with Jades. Do you agree with the true ending, or do you have your own headcanon?
I do have my own headcanon, but then again, I'm kind of a selfish bitch. And my question was always, why not both of them, right?
Vivian turns and huddles with Johnny. And there's whispering. And then she turns back and says, "That's correct," and hands you a bookmark.
That's incredible.
And Xander is going to tuck it away, and yes.
Yeah, and by the way, the guy is he's a Lightborn Hewer, and he literally looks so nervous right now watching all of you have this conversation. And he's also, I have the unedited copy of the 4th book in that series that came out a few months ago.
Oh. What?
Meaning all of the cut chapters are still in it.
Vivian hands in the party funds.
Johnny hands him his entire coin purse.
It's in the bag of holding, which means that there's also a guy that is starting to wake up in the bag.
No! I don't want any money. I was actually going to, there's a library over by the Parliament building, and me and a few others who enjoy the series meet up on every looks up the day of the week, because I don't remember it off the top of my head. I think I know, but I don't know the order. Yeah, he says, we meet up every Fire Sun to talk about the series, and because I'm the only one with a copy, we've been using mine.
What do you want?
I'll give you anything.
Oh, I was gonna...
Do you want him? You want Johnny?
What? No.
You can have me. But just let me read the book first.
Oh, I mean, you can borrow it as long as you bring it back on Fire Sun before that meeting.
With trembling hands. She holds up both hands.
And he says, would you be able to do this? Bring it back before Fire Sun?
Anything?
Yeah, and he hands you the 4th book in that series that has all of the cut chapters and stuff. Which cut chapters in the spicy vampire novel world means that, they cut out the bits too spicy for publishing.
Wow.
Sure,
Johnny puts a hand on Vivian's shoulder. Vivian, such a document. I would never be able to forgive myself if something happened to it. Let's binge read the whole thing right now.
I need you. You can't. You haven't finished the 3rd book yet.
Vivian, please.
No.
You're going to deny me this?
And also, since, just to point out, it is Fire Sun today, so he's implying you have a week.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and buy the 3rd book for Johnny, and then I'm going to buy the novella. That's book 3.5.
Yeah. And he says, also, if you are the way you think you are, the new character in the 4th book, it's going to change.
Don't say it.
I'm not gonna spoil, but it's
Hang on
going
a
to
second,
change.
What do you mean by that?
Johnny has a dagger in his hand.
What do you mean by that?
Oh,
I know what you are.
if you're a kindred spirit, if you understand this book the way I do, the new character changes everything.
Oh. We came looking for answers, and we found blessings. There is truly benevolence in this world.
And
Pretty sure I just heard Chas laughing through Allie's mic.
You did.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, by the way, my name is August.
I don't care.
Oh.
She doesn't say that. That's a joke. She said, thank you so much.
Get his ass.
Thank you so much. The head in the bag starts to grow, and I say, Sir Elwood, punch that for me, please. Thank you. We'll be out of your hair momentarily.
One more thing. Might you have... I'm sure you do if you have such fine literature. Any of those books that some individuals keep on them for their magic? They are rich with the spirit of dreams.
Oh, no, unfortunately I don't have any spellbooks or anything with magic. If I had that in my shop, I'd be robbed. Although I do have a friend that has those sort of things in her shop.
Oh, please, grant me the location of this friend, as well as the location of that author, if you would.
I don't know the author's address, but I do know that I do believe she lives somewhere in Snow's Reach. Although, she lives in territory that they won't even let me pass the gates.
We should respect her privacy, Vivian says as a question to herself.
Although on the last day of every month, she goes to the library by the Parliament building and does 10 gold signings.
Oh.
And she does it with magical ink, so that way it doesn't get damaged.
Vivian, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm not thinking anything. We need to get out of here before I die.
Okay.
Okay,
you're right. You're right.
But if you want to...
Will she sign my ass?
I don't think
Whoa,
so.
was that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we were.
Oh, that's crazy.
We were not thinking the same thing.
Oh.
But,
all right, then. Well, that's fantastic. We'll just be leaving now.
oh, the shop
Yes,
the shop is called Frozen Curiosities.
Excellent. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Phage, I hand him the third book. Read.
Johnny's gonna read as we walk.
Yeah. Vivian fights the urge to read it without Johnny.
Jay is going to hold on to the back of Johnny's neck because he's the only one that can, and he's going to steer him around like a child in a grocery store.
I was thinking Johnny would put a hand on your shoulder, but I like this way more.
And yeah, again, it takes you about 35 minutes to walk to the tavern that you met Camillus in. And, you notice that before you even get all the way down the stairs, Camillus just opens the door. Oh, it's just you guys. Hello?
Xander winks and says, Now, I know I'm stunningly beautiful, but you don't have to scream like that.
Oh, I apologize. I have an alarm spell set on the tavern, not tower. Trust me, I'm a little more elegant when I see things that are beautiful. Like so, and he, holds the door open and bows a little bit.
Xander's going to walk in. So where do you want this piece of shit?
There's a different barkeep now, which is a minotaur man with a big, nose ring, and one of his horns is chipped. And he punches the palm of his hand and then points to the counter.
Right then. Plump.
Yeah.
Take the helmet off him.
Do you have any other good stuff on him? Johnny's gonna rob him.
Yeah, we're taking everything. We're taking his clothes.
Yeah, the robes are not magical, they are just very expensive. They're worth 50 gold pieces. The most valuable thing on his person was the ring that you took from him. It seems like he traveled light intentionally,
Does he have any piercings or anything?
He has.
Do you have any gold teeth?
He has nipple piercings.
Whoa!
I'm gonna take him out.
Wait, gentle.
No.
We can't hurt him.
I will gently take out his nipple piercings.
Be gentle with his nipples.
They have diamond studs in them that are real.
Whoa! Why did he do that to himself? Do people do that to themselves?
Oh, yes.
Was that a punishment for something?
Oh, no, not at all. I tried to get mine pierced a few years back and broke the piercing gun, though.
Why does he only have two?
Camillus snorts.
Did you ask why he only has two?
Is it time for the nipple discourse again? Yes.
No, please, no.
Oh, this is my favorite part of Rollbound. All the D&D.
No.
Oh,
Talk
please.
about this is the
Johnny,
episode
it's
where this is the episode where we talk about nipple piercings and vampire smut.
Okay,
Did we
Jay,
go like
do you have
5
any
sessions ago?
idea how little that narrows it down?
Hey guys, hey Jimmy, which was your favorite Rollbound episode? Oh, I really like the one where they talked about vampire smut for a long time.
Well, don't
Which
worry,
time?
Jenny, because we have round 6 of nipple talk here on Rollbound.
No. But yeah.
I think the DM's not
Yes.
railroading us to nipple talk. Like,
No.
we didn't
No.
ask for those piercings to be there.
No, but I thought it
I know
was
what we
funny.
want.
But yeah, the Minotaur looks at all of you and says, "Listen, I won't ask questions as long as you don't," and slaps these pristine, look like they're made out of platinum manacles on this guy's hands and ankles that have runes on them.
Xander is going to look to the Minotaur and say, I just have one question. Do you perhaps have a model with those with the fur inside?
He blinks a few times and then leans towards you and goes, "What do you know about the version that has fur on the inside?"
Only that I'd want to experience it firsthand.
Mage hand slap you on the back of the head. Xander, focus.
Right, sorry. Anyway. Yes, of course. We were in the middle of something.
Also, ask Camillus. He's who I got them from, and Camillus, spits out the water that he was drinking and just goes, "Marty! What?"
Xander, kind of leans across the bar and looks at Camillus and says, Interesting. Darling, you should have said something.
Job. Job, guy, criminal.
Right, yes. Can't afford any more distractions.
Yeah, Camillus flicks you on the forehead with his tail.
Of course. I think it, chips the fucking skin a little bit. Xander has taken a lot of ass beatings recently. Going to look to the dude who is waking up and say, Now then, start from the beginning. Why are you such a piece of shit?
What kind of question is that?
Some might refer to it as an icebreaker.
Why are you such a piece of shit?
Well, you're unlicensed. That's kind of hard to do.
I would really like you if it wasn't for the fact that you're yourself. Anyway, what questions do we have for this gentleman? We kind of already know everything. Are we just discussing next moves and letting him sit and think about what he's done?
All of my questions are about the manacles, but he said not to ask, so.
Sir Elwood.
Nope, nothing good.
I had no idea.
I am telling you, you do not want to know the questions I have.
Vivian stands on the table and says, "No one's allowed to talk about this until you all read my books." Now,
I'm not reading any of those blasphemous fucking things.
now,
Hey,
the
those are fighting words.
The person that we met in the marketplace was able to recognize this person's face or at least location, which means that our friend here, and she kicks him in the ribs, would also recognize faces and locations. And our friend here, she kicks him in the other ribs, also would be able to help us point out Romulus. And because of that, that is why we need him alive. That is also why we need him. You don't have to say much to us now because you will be saying things to the guards, and I promise that your friend will not be there to get you out of any predicament that you find yourself in this time, because Romulus, as you have so politely told us, is the one that we need to take down. Yes, thank you for that, by the way. Camillus, you said you had a plan. What do we need to do to take down your uncle?
So the thing is that while I, yes, am the family member of someone in Parliament, the thing is that since all of these Skinari records have been edited to the point where there is no evidence of Skinari involvement, I need some of them alive.
I need some that my uncle has talked to alive. Now, I can do half of this plan for you, but the other half, I would love you lovely folk, he winks at Xander, to do the dirty work, if I can do the sneaky noble work.
Chas, I have a question.
I have an answer.
The wizard spell Encode Thoughts, provided in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. First of all, do you rule that it is just part of the wizard's spell list? Is that something Johnny could hypothetically access?
Yeah.
My second question is, in the spell's description, it states that if you're using something like Detect Thoughts to read a person's mind, that you could then use the Encode Thoughts spell to basically encode the thoughts you're reading onto a thought strand to be read later. Obviously, Dreamweaver Wizard isn't, canon as far as D&D is concerned, right? But could Johnny store the memories of individuals when he enters their dreams? Could he store those dreams in thought strands?
If he had the spell encode thoughts, yes.
Because my idea is, if we can get to Romulus and basically do the same interrogation thing that Johnny's been doing to these fuckwits, and we could extract the memories of him being a corrupt fucking asshole, would that be, I guess, admissible in court?
Not enough. Just because also since he is for one, getting to him could be difficult. For two, it's one of those things where the method, because for one, they'd ask you how you got it, and if the way that you got it was not of his consent, which going into his dreams would be against his consent, they would not allow it to be evidence.
Inadmissible.
Yeah, because of the way that it was received. Because a lot of the time stuff like that is manipulatable, and thus a lot of the nations in Kelmra do not take it as evidence. Because there has been instances of thought strands being altered.
That's fair. Yeah, that is definitely a thing that can happen with the Alter Memory spell.
Yeah, so because of that, they need concrete, tangible evidence that was not conjured or manipulated by magic. Because if they want pure, hard evidence. And thought strands can be altered.
Damn. Alright, that was worth a shot.
Spell Modify Memory is, insane for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, but Camillus says, I can get the proof that my uncle, now that I know it's him, I didn't even look there first, I can get the evidence that he was, or at least attempt to get the evidence that he was doing business with the Skinari, and I can give you names and location. If you can grab those individuals, I can do what I need to do a little easier.
There's also their contact that resides just outside the city. We could capture him and bring him here as well.
That would work. But the thing is that since I am family, I have access to, well, the reason why I met you here is my Uncle Romulus lives with me.
Whoa.
Oh.
What a development.
But because of that, my house is extraordinarily wardened. And if something got brought up when we brought guests into our house, it would be an immediate turnaround. However, with me, or even my mother, he would have no grounds. He wouldn't dare accuse my mother or me, even though he hates me.
Of course, so you're going to be sort of procuring this evidence from your own home, therefore it is admissible.
Correct. And since I am of noble status, they would accept that evidence without much of a fuss.
Nepotism, baby. Vivian doesn't say that. That's my no.
The Crowley family are known for being crypt keepers, yes?
I don't know.
Yes, they are. They do guard the catacombs.
Do you think they'd be willing to do some sort of speak with dead ritual on our behalf?
I can do that.
Right, but you're not credible. No offense.
Personally, I'm not affiliated with... I'm not personally affiliated with the Crowley family, but I know that I know Nivius of the Crowley family would be the one that you would speak to. And he just works at the morgue, so he is easily accessible.
Sure, but I also mean, is it worth doing?
I would say...
We can just ask the questions in court.
I would...
Like with the body there.
The court date would take too long. I would say that, yes, that would be credible.
You should limit. Why would it take too long?
Oh, I was thinking of another spell. I apologize.
Okay.
I don't normally dabble in necromancy, you see. But, yes, if you had a member of the Crowleys do it, that would be a credible source, considering that Nivius, can do very special things with his necromantic magic. I don't know the details, just that they would trust him to raise zombies out of the ground if he gave them a good enough reason.
Excellent. I'm basically trying to build the strongest case I can with a legal system that I'm sure differs from the one that I'm used to quite substantially.
Yes. Also, I'm sure they'd be willing to back you up, because considering after what was revealed that the sister of the Crowley family was murdered, they will do anything to bring people to justice.
More importantly, you said that you had locations for us and names to go after, or you were getting those.
I will be getting those. I can get them to you before the night's end.
Understood. Where are we going to keep this fucker? She kicks him in the ribs.
Marty, would you be a dear and keep him here? Of course. He looks at the guy, and kind of does the cow thing where they blow air out of their nose really hard, and it makes the ring jingle, and he goes, "And you're not gonna cause any problems for me, right, buddy?" And leans in real close, and the guy goes, "No, of course not. Your breath smells."
Neat. Let's gag him.
Hey, that is uncalled for. You apologize immediately.
Yeah.
He is gagged.
Marty, leans down and goes, "Yeah, you heard the dignified man. Apologize." And the guy's just sitting there
Tess does a very good impression of being gagged. We're not going to
say the same fucking thing.
We're not going to read into that. Anyway, moving on.
No, let's read it. Chast, where did you learn to do that impression?
Personal experience.
Oh, from being gagged yourself?
Chast clearly been kidnapped several times.
I have been kidnapped before. I wasn't
gagged?
No.
Oh. When did you get gagged then? If it was when you were kidnapped. Hold on.
Shout out.
No.
Shout out to, I'm not going to say his name, but shout out.
No, he doesn't deserve it. No,
Shout
fuck
him
you.
out. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why would you shout him out? What did he do, Chad?
Shut the fuck up. Rocks fall, everyone dies. Shut the fuck up. I'm kidding.
Hey, campaign 3 is Dot ready?
Yeah,
Alright, time to go move that crystal.
But
like a fucked up Calmrin game show.
We are the worst play group on the fucking planet.
Or at the very least on either platform.
But yeah, Marty picks up the guy by the chain of the manacles, and then like you see him stomp on the ground, a hatch in the floor opens and he just drops him.
Oh, I see. I believe I've read about this once. That's a Rancor pit?
Good one.
I call it my shut the fuck up pit, and then he closes it with his foot.
Do you now? Maybe one day you'll give me a tour. And Xander will wink before looking back to Camillus. So, break? And he shrugs.
The Rancor is the exact opposite of shut the fuck up. Rancor is loud, angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's my shut the fuck up pit specifically.
Oh, okay. So you okay.
Anyway, I'm getting
trying
bored.
to infer a lot of things based off of context clues here. My apologies.
Well, Camillus like crosses his arms and like kind of like he like pops his hip out and like cocks his head to the side as if thinking, and he says, "Didn't you say that there was someone outside the city you could go talk to?"
Oh, talk to is perhaps overselling it a bit. We will certainly be getting information from this individual.
And he has had direct contact with the Skinari, so it is possible that he would also know possibly one of the contacts that your uncle has spoken with.
Oh, he's getting put in jail for sure. From what I understand, he's quite ugly, so he won't be able to talk his way out of it either.
How many shut the fuck up holes do you have?
Marty, like, again cracks his knuckles and he says, "This one fits 10. There's only 2 in there right now."
Wait, who's the other one?
You don't want to know.
You're right, you did say not to ask questions. I do want to know. That's okay.
Oh,
I
you
wanna
know,
know.
if you want to know so bad, he stomps on it again, opens up the thing, and he, like, reaches down into it, and he pulls out another person, who you guys know without a doubt is a Skinari person, and goes, "This one was personal." And then
You're gonna
drops
kill
him
him?
again.
Oh, can I punch him?
He grabs
Oh.
him again. Sure.
Yeah,
Not too
Xander
hard.
fucking backs him.
Not too hard.
And the guy
You were
goes,
like Vivian kicking the ribs.
the guy
I did not
Where there's
kick
clearly
anyone.
malice in it.
and the guy
I
goes,
did not kick anyone. I tripped.
"Oh, what's that?
Great.
That hurts. Oh no!" And then he drops him again.
Oh,
A
what fun.
Skinari pit. It's very specialized. Interesting. Great. Well, the longer this goes on, the more uncomfortable I'm going to get. So I say that we go for this person that's on the outskirts of town now. Do you have any sort of location where he could be?
Make me an investigation check.
I will
Sure.
give you guidance and advantage.
Great. Pretty good. 25.
Yeah, so, takes you about an hour to get to, from where you are, where the guy roughly said it was. And with a 20, you said a 25?
25?
And
Can Vivian turn
honestly,
into birds?
What?
Can you turn into birds yet?
Oh, I thought you said, is anybody hearing birds? And I thought, Allie, are you okay?
Birds, I think, are next level.
99% sure they are level 9. But
Yeah,
it's
it's 8th level. Fuck. Alright.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, but
I can make a bird.
you,
At 4th level, the CR goes up. At 8th level, you can have a swim speed. Or 6th level, you can have a swim speed. At 8th level, you can have a flight speed.
I mean, Johnny can polymorph. Well, actually, Vivian can polymorph into a bird.
I cannot. I've already used my 1 4th level slot today.
In
Oh,
like 8 hours.
what's that?
yeah, but, with a
Interesting thing to note,
25,
it never says you can't have a burrow speed.
the way that you find him is because he's outside of his house.
you see this man. He's like maybe 4 foot tall. Does kind of look like a gnoll, but he is definitely a Lupra. He has like a chip in his ear and a burn on the side of his face that is covered by a bandage that is very badly put on. And you see him right now kind of like scratching at his ears like he's hearing something that is bothering him. And he's basically right now standing out. It's not even... It is definitely a house, but like the windows are broken. And he's not even in a particularly like bad like part of the city. It just honestly looks like this is like someone's old shed and he is inhabiting it. Looks like an abandoned building that he's staying in.
Sure, do we want to stake it out for a bit, wait for him to go inside, smack him up the back of the head and take him back?
How about we just wait for him to fall asleep? We can dream interrogate him without the cruelty.
Love it. What time of day is it?
It is around midday at this point.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we have to wait for Camelus to get information anyway. So yeah, let's wait.
Yeah.
Stake it out.
Yeah. We don't have to go too much into detail about waiting it out, but basically, you just see him doing, like, random shit around the area. Like, obviously he's trying to keep it clean. Ever so often, again, he, like, kind of winces and cringes like he hears something in his head that, he doesn't want to be hearing. You don't hear anything. But finally, pretty early in the night, at around, like, 7 p.m., he, like, sighs tiredly, and then you see all the lights within the little house go out.
I'm so used to Mickey's character having detect thoughts that I was about to ask her if she wanted to cast it. She super cannot do that this time. But yeah, let's wait a bit longer until it seems like he's fallen asleep. We'll get Johnny in position, and we will shaboogie in his dreams. Then take him with us.
What dream?
Yeah, the dreams are of him, for one, he has this, like, kind of, like, glorified version of himself that's a little taller, a little more muscular, and he's, like, sitting at the edge of a cliff, like, sharpening a knife. And he's just, like, enjoying the warm sun on his face. Just kind of chilling. He's not dreaming about anything, like, crazy. Just him sitting at the edge of a cliff sharpening a knife.
Shit. We know, like, nothing about this guy's connections other than the one guy.
You could be that guy again and say you're going to beat him up again.
That's mean, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You could be a really pretty Lupra.
That's what I was thinking too. But what if he's gay? Hold on, we can make this work.
It's a
be
dream.
androgynous.
Yeah, it's a dream. You can just be like, "What's that over there?" And then, like, bam.
Okay, he's gonna take the
Dreams
form
don't need to make sense.
of a very attractive, non-binary Lupra, and they, I guess, will walk up and say, "Hello, my husband. What are you doing?"
What? I'm I'm married now. That's pretty cool. I'm just thinking... I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna murder the fucker who gave me this scar.
What? You've never told me about that, please. Who would give you such a scar?
This is the best day of my life.
That's the same thing twice. It's twice now.
It's so good.
Well, I thought that I was going to sabotage something, and it didn't work out so well. Gotta iron out my plans better, and then in retaliation, the dumbass merchant casted lightning bolt on my fucking face.
The person actually winces at this a little too empathetically. Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Temporarily slips out of voice. Oh, trust me.
You have no idea.
Yeah, that's horrible. It's not a good feeling.
You're right.
What do we need to get out of this guy?
Skinari comes in contact. Pretty much the same shit as always. We just are trying to inch our way closer into Skinari. It would also be nice to know if he knows Romulus.
Okay. I hope nobody else has given you any trouble. Wasn't there another contact you spoke of before?
He looks out like he's the main character in an anime and says, "The Skinari. I'll kill them all." And he
The Skinari?
And he looks again the other direction this time, dramatically, like he's the main character in an anime.
This guy, I hate him.
It's even better the second time, somehow.
Johnny's
The wind
on
is
a
going
more
in both
anime
directions.
Lupus appearance.
You should make him dream that he turns the shower on and the water is just a little bit too cold or a little bit too hot compared to what he wanted, so he has to wait outside of the shower for a few seconds.
No. Let's see
The
this
wind
guy
is blowing through Johnny's fur now. He's looking at this Lupra longingly.
And he says,
Oh,
go ahead.
kill the Skinari? Whatever could you mean? Husband. Coon.
Oh, well. My luscious mate.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ!
Holy fuck! Oh god! Never just try to say human being is luscious. Never. Oh god!
My luscious mate.
And the man turns his head, and Johnny turns into a quivering bag of vomit before returning.
And he says,
Yes.
he says, I didn't choose this. I didn't choose any of this. But since they caught me trying to interrupt one of their trade deals, now if I don't do what they ask of me, they'll kill me. And they'll kill those I love. Like you. But I wouldn't let them do that.
It's just like when you rescued me from that arranged marriage.
You're right. That guy was a douche.
This guy's the best improver ever. This guy's like the anti-improv man.
And he says,
Please,
and he
tell me,
wraps
my
his
juicy
arm.
husband.
Oh no!
Who is this contact? Should he ever come to our home, where we have our one child?
He looks up and drools a little bit at the at the idea that he's gotten laid. Oh my god!
This poor fucking incel.
Fucking die,
Oh
bro.
no!
You're so strong. Oh, sorry.
And he says,
From outside, you hear Vivian's like, "Please stop describing what you're saying. Please stop describing it. Please stop describing it."
"Oh god."
Johnny outside of the dream. What is a virgin tradwife?
Stop.
Guys, I gotta know soon.
And he says,
What do you mean virgin? What?
He told me he's virgin tradwife.
Oh no!
No, stop that. And he says, but honestly, for the man who pulls the strings, you would know him by his smell before his face.
I wish to smell nobody but you.
That's good, that's good.
What smell could you be talking about?
Well,
Smelly, smell it, smell it, smelly.
stop. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I take it back. This is the worst.
His name is Bastian, and he's a Kior with all these markings all over him, and he has the tattoos that are layered over his Lightborn markings.
Oh, he's just a filthy jock.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what jock means. And then he says, but after he caught me trying to steal some of the Skinari goods to destroy them, basically he took me to this woman, this large, very muscular woman who is probably the scariest woman I've ever seen in my life, and she branded me, and now I have to do whatever she says, or he looks down dramatically. She'll kill me, and you too.
Thank you.
Oh my
so
god,
much
I know
for
this
keeping
guy.
me
I went to
safe.
high school with this fucking guy.
Oh, this woman. Who is she? Where is she? So I can avoid her.
I don't know her name, but I know that all of the Skinari brutes, they I don't know, it almost seems like they worship her. They're all afraid of her, and they all listen to anything she says. They just call her mother. It's creepy.
Terrible.
It's Mike Pence.
Where is this mother?
I don't know. She disappears, but whenever I see her, it almost feels like the ground is shaking and I can feel my blood boiling.
Oh no. Will she be here again? Will she come to our traditional family home? Our little cottage?
But they also, sometimes they call her the Collector. Because sometimes, right before any of the items are made into magical items, she takes them as trophies for herself, her personal collection, as she calls it.
Oh, the Skinari are truly dastardly.
They are.
I can't wait for you to be the hero that puts them to their end.
And I will. Once I can free myself from my chains. And he, looks at his hand dramatically.
Ah, those chains you got into. Accepting that deal from that god.
Yeah. But once I can find a way, and he holds his hand over his face dramatically. Once I can find a way.
He looks at a third horizon.
He can't look at the third horizon. He's got
Oh my
his hand
God.
covering.
Yeah, once he holds his head over his face and goes, once I find a way to remove this brand from my body and break myself away from her influence, I'll kill them all.
Do we have everything we need to know from this guy? Does anybody have any other questions?
I like to imagine that he's doing this really dramatic pose, and then in the real world just lets out a huge fart while he's sleeping.
Yeah, he's drooling,
Okay.
and his tail is wagging viciously.
Oh no!
Any other questions?
Does he know Romulus?
Oh, of course. Oh, honey, we got a letter from a man named Romulus. Would you happen to know who that is?
That means they're using me to peddle mail now. I think that's one of the Skinari's contacts. They sometimes have me run around their manuscripts or orders from time to time. Sometimes I destroy them so that way there's a few less than they're supposed to be. It's my way of contributing to their downfall.
You're so brave and strong.
I know.
Do you have anything at the house now? I want to help you in any way I can.
No,
Anything. Get it away.
I don't want you to get involved, my love, but I do, at the first eve tomorrow morning, have to deliver another set of orders to another installment. I'm thinking of erasing a few of the names without them noticing. I don't know if I can pull it off, though.
You're so smart and powerful.
Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to do it without it being obvious.
I'm sure you will. You always do. You're
Yeah.
the hero, after all.
Yeah, you're right. I always do. I always find a way.
Yeah, okay, outside of the dream, I think it's at its end. Johnny has a massive rock hoisted over his head. And he says, I'm about to wipe the fucking mustache off of his face.
I gotta say, I did not think you were gonna say rock. I'm so glad you did.
Yeah. And then he says, now, my perfect honeysuckle, can you scratch behind my left ear?
Anything for you, my dear love. Rock crashing through the window, and it's gonna slam into the side of his head to wake him up. Good morning, honeysuckle.
Xander is going to step into view. Eldritch blast energy crackling out his hand, and he says, "Don't you fucking move, or I'm gonna paint the walls with your innards. You stay right the fuck there."
Are we all able to see what goes on in these like dreams that Johnny's like pulling out of his
Johnny describes it in vivid detail.
He describes it.
You are fucking repulsive.
I don't understand.
Shit.
I don't understand.
What the fuck was that?
I don't understand what's going on. No, I've done my part.
What's going on is you're fucking trash. What the fuck is this?
Wait a minute.
Jay's
He,
not
like,
even mad
squints.
about the Skinari stuff.
Yeah.
He squints and goes, "You're not Skinari. Who the fuck
No,
are you?"
and you need therapy.
Oh, we're your soon to be either kidnappers or liberators, depending on how you look at it.
What?
We need your intel.
God, I just submitted
Xander.
status. Fuck!
Xander is going to step into the building through the window and get really close to this guy and say, "Despite how slimy you are, our goals somewhat align. We are also trying to get rid of the plague that is the Skinari."
Really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is such good news.
Johnny, that brand, apparently, that you were describing had some magical properties to it. Perhaps we could dispel it?
Yeah, he holds up his hand, and his left hand, the fur has been completely burned away, and there is this cut that looks perpetually fresh that has, weird reptilian-looking scales around it. Please, I've tried everything. I've even tried cutting my bloody hand off.
Vivian's domain. Vivian, do you ever... Vivian, can you dispel this terrible brand?
Did I prepare that today? Let's double check.
Did you?
I don't know.
You should always have it.
Looks like I do. Yeah, I do. Great. So we will... Yeah, can I give it a shot?
Yeah.
Great. Somebody guide me, I guess.
I will
Johnny will guide you. No, Johnny does it first. I don't get this chance very often.
That's fair. Also, I realized I do indeed have another spell available, so we're just going to go ahead and hang on to Remove Curse, because why not? And while Vivian is... Because you're casting Dispel Magic, I assume?
Yep.
And I'm going to cast Remove Curse at the same time.
Oh, you still have it. Nice. Okay. I'm first going to dunk his hand in the bag because it smells. And then I'm going to cast Dispel Magic. Do I need to roll for this?
Yes.
Okay. Adding 5.
Xander, I also need you to make a charisma check.
Ooh, baby.
Just a ability check or like a saving throw?
Ability check.
Okay, that's still going to be a 20?
I got a
Getting
24.
19.
Yeah, so when this happens, I need Vivian and Xander to both make me dexterity saving throws.
All right.
Sure.
Adding
from
plus 3.
Hey.
Dexterity saving throw, huh?
Do I have anything for that? I do not. That's okay. Oh, man. Well,
That is a 21 for me.
that's
a 21. A 21 and a 5? Oh,
yeah.
Alright, so that does fail.
I would assume so.
Yeah, and you see this mark. It does start to disappear, but as it does so, it lights up as it's disappearing with an arcane energy, and this blast of acid that looks like it should not come out of this guy's hand lurches out at both of you.
That doesn't sound so bad.
And then you hear like this weird, like ethereal, like roar happen at the same time.
The fuck?
Does a roar? Hey, Chess. Does a roar sound maybe dragon-like?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Is the roar coming from within the house?
The roar is coming from his hand.
Oh, lovely.
Since we know
Hey,
the
guys.
Skinari are at least aligned with the dragon.
I think the big scary woman is a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Damn. Are we sure she's evil?
Pretty sure.
Dang.
Well, look on the bright side. This won't kill you.
Oh man.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. So Vivian, you will take 41 points of acid damage.
Yeah.
And Xander, you will take half.
So 20.
Yep.
Sure.
However, the mark does disappear, although it leaves a permanent. However, the wound, again, like it just happened, starts to rapidly bleed. But you see these scales disappear, and he like holds his wrists suddenly in a lurch of pain. He goes, gods, that was not me. I'm so sorry. I had no idea."
Vivian grabs his face. Her skin is bubbling, and she says, "Shut up," and shoves a berry in his mouth.
Johnny will put a hand on the wound, and he is instantly transported to the dream of him with his waifu, and he is going to be cure wounds.
Thank you. And the wound clears up, and he goes, "Oh gods, if I had any idea, I promise I would have said something."
Xander, at this point, has just gotten the remaining acid off of him, and he says, "Oh, don't worry about it. I've had far worse."
And he,
Vivian's scoffing down berries.
yeah, and he like his ears are drooping and his tail is like hanging low, and he goes, it's amazing.
Hey, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up and come with us.
Okay.
Thank you. And we're gonna fucking head back to the tavern. Although as we're leaving, Xander is going to cast Ascending to Emiko and say, "Take everything that isn't nailed down, dear."
Got it.
Yeah, and I would like everybody to make me a perception check.
5. Just kidding. I got a natural 20.
Wow. Wow.
23.
That's
For a total of 23.
24, 23,
God damn it.
19,
30.
30. Alright.
I'm rolling ones and 18s.
23, 24, 30. That's a Reaper number.
Shut up.
Where the fuck is the but? There it is. I found it. Oh,
14.
Jesus Christ.
So everyone but Jay, you all
Loser.
hear, you don't see where it originates from, but you all hear a sound like a rippling sound of thunder go across the city.
Wow.
At the very least, you can hear it like it comes from the outside of the city, and then the entirety of the sky darkens for like a split second, but then everything goes back to normal.
Oh, dear sweet Guinevere's name, what the fuck was that?
Did somebody turn the dark on?
And then the Lupra actively flinches and drops to the ground suddenly.
Why'd you do that?
Is he dead?
What the hell? What's going on? What's going on? I don't know what's happening.
No, he's alive. He like covers his ears and he goes.
Xander's gonna slap him and say, "What did I say about shutting the fuck up?"
Ow!
Don't slap him. He's scared. Come on now. What's
sorry.
wrong, buddy?
We don't have time for this conversation. We need to get him to a secure location, please.
Okay, well, tell me, but let's get up and walk too, okay? Honeysuckle?
And as we're walking, by the way, Xander is going to get a silent image going. Actually, I think I'm just going to cast Pass Without Trace.
Yeah.
We're gonna sneak our way
And,
back.
but he keeps repeatedly. He is like, to be fair. Oh no, he fucking fails. He is currently frightened.
Okay, that's fine.
And he is repeating the phrase, she knows, 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 over and over again, very quietly.
Okay. She'll be dead soon. I'll make sure of it.
She knows.
Johnny, can you shut him the fuck up, please?
Of course. I need you to be really quiet. Don't tell anyone about this, but I'm gonna give you a little piece of my cupcake, okay?
Okay. After about a minute, he calms down.
Great. Yeah, let's get him back.
Yeah. And, right, but like maybe about 5 minutes before you get back to the, about 5 minutes before you get back to the tavern, Xander, you hear, someone in your mind say, "Hey, Xander, you're close, right?"
Depends on who is asking.
"I need help."
Who is I?
"Camillus."
Okay, awesome. Sorry, God didn't tell me who this was.
Yeah, you
And
get
we're boogieing.
Yeah, you get another response like, whatever assassins he hired are, very good at their job, almost. Let's prove them wrong, yeah?
Xander is going to say, "Assassins at Camillus, let's go." And going to respond to Camillus and say, "Be there soon, dear. Don't, leave some for us, yes?"
Oh, of course. There's plenty. And that will be where we end off session for the night.